5 years gone, they're still rewinding, frame by frame like it's a crime. Turn my worst day to a highlight reel, hit replay, wasting time. Counting wars in crooked halos, typing sermons in my name. Got their perfect little pitchforks out, but they fold under the same flame. Lighten up already, how long you gonna drag this dead horse round? You ain't that holy, you just like the way that anger sounds. Yeah, I messed up, poured me owned it, bled it, took it on the chin. Lighten up already, or log off and let me live again. Screenshots stacked like scripture, they quote me like I never grew. Skip the part where I said I was wrong, guess that doesn't fit their view. Saints in search of something ugly, so they never look inside. Funny how the loudest judges got the most they wanna hide. Lighten up already, how long you gonna drag this dead horse round? You ain't that holy, you just like the way that anger sounds. Yeah, I messed up heavy, owned it, bled it, took it on the chin. Lighten up already, or log off and let me live again. You want a villain, I'll play it while you polish up your pride. Just remember, when you're buoyant, there are three fingers at your side. I'm done begging for your mercy, done performing for your grace. You can stay stuck in that moment, I'm already in a better place. Lighten up already, how long you gonna drag this dead horse round? You ain't that holy, you just like the way that anger sounds. Yeah, I messed up heavy, owned it, bled it, took it on the chin. Lighten up already, if you can't forgive that, don't do that. Lighten up already, hit unsubscribe and call it quits. Lighten up already, you're not perfect, you just forget it. She hit upload, thought it was done. Bad take, bad joke, bad judgment call. Pulled it down, said she was wrong. Typed I'm sorry till her fingers stall. Screenshot saved like some holy scroll. You quote that line like it's carved in stone. 5 years on, you're still throwing stones like she broke your house, stole your phone. 5 years still mad, what's that say about you? You act like she crashed your whole life too. She owned it on Sunday, what more can she do? You're not perfect, get off your throne. Stop judging her like she burned your home. 5 years still mad, that's on you. You play safe in the comment threads, Halo on, pitchfork by your bed. Every flaw that you've ever hid, you paint on whore like it's all she is. If apologies don't mean a thing, what's the point of growing then? You want blood, you don't want truth, you want someone to stand in for you. 5 years still mad, what's that say about you? You act like she shattered vows you never knew. She faced it, replaced it, learned something new. You're not perfect, get off your throne. Stop judging her like she wrecked your home. 5 years still mad, that's on you. 5 years. You messed up too. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah, you know it. You lied. 5 years still mad, what's that say about you? Turn that mirror, let it hit you too. She owned it, you hide it. Tell me what is true. You're not perfect, drop that stone. Stop judging her just to dodge your own. 5 years still mad, that's on you. She did her time in the spotlight, shame. You'll do yours if you play this game. We all fall, we all misstep, let it go. Forget, forget. 5 years move on. 5 years move on. 5 years move on. Stay stuck in that song. Back then, I was filming in a bedroom. Bad jokes, thought I had it all figured out. 5 years, feels like 5 different lifetimes. Scroll back, you can freeze me in my doubt. You got screenshots, you got timestamps, you got something you can throw back in my face. But you missed out on the late nights, all the hard talks, how I tried to change. I was wrong, I was young, but I'm not the kid you're dragging through the mud again. Tell me why it's one strike, never forgiven. You were loud, you were proud, saying we believed in growing up and giving grace. We used to stand for something, now it's just rage and empty space. No one is perfect, so why is it only me you never let escape? You cheer for the ones who do the same thing, same mess, but you call it just a learning curve. Say growth till it's someone that you don't like. Guess lines always move for who you wanna serve. Where's the mercy? Where's the nuance? Where's the person under every single frame? You preach progress till it's risky, then it's pitchforks and a trending tag of shame. I was wrong, I was young, but I'm not the kid you're dragging through the mud again. Tell me why it's one strike, never forgiven. You were loud, you were proud, saying we believed in growing up and giving grace. We used to stand for something, now it's just rage and empty space. No one is perfect, so why is it only me you never let escape? If I say I'm sorry, is it ever enough? Or do you need a villain more than you need trust? If we burn each other, who's gonna be left here? What happened to the courage to face what we all fear? Oh, we all get it wrong. Oh, we all don't belong. Sometimes I was wrong, I was young, but I'm not the kid you're dragging through the mud again. Tell me why it's one strike.
Hey, Janessa, it's not just you because I used to get like notifications whenever I was going to go live and it would pop up under all of my alt accounts or my business account, whatever, and I don't get any. So I don't know why I'm not getting them either. But like every once in a blue moon, I'll see a notification, but most of the time, no notification. Or I'll get it like 2 days later. So it's not just you. I don't know why YouTube hates me, but yeah, YouTube hates me. But that's why you guys got to hit thumbs up and hype. Because the more I hype, the more thumbs up, the more YouTube recognizes me again. Because right now I'm just a YouTube loser. So I hope everyone's doing well. I want to show you guys a couple things before we begin. So I was on, never go online shopping at like 2 a.m. because you buy stuff you don't even know you're buying. But I was on Nordstrom Rack the other day or a couple of days ago, and I saw these shoes. Like I'm a big UGG person. I wear Uggs all the time, all year round. Doesn't matter. And I saw these shoes I had to get. So they came in today. And Sage was like, Mom, they're ugly. I'm like, no, they're not. They're fucking awesome. She's like, well, I'll have to see them on. So they came in today. I am in love. I cannot wait to wear them. So I got to show you guys. Hold on. But then when she saw them, she's like, yeah, those are pretty awesome. Hold on. And it makes me like 6 feet tall. How freaking cute are these? I absolutely love them. I just posted them on Lemon. But aren't they adorable? And they're so comfortable. And you can even wear them in the summer because they have the shearling on the sides, but not on the very bottom. And I just love them. And I also want to show you guys my project redo. So I redesigned a candle studio because I was tired of looking at stuff. So I spent a couple $100 and redesigned it. So I'm going to show you guys that too. And I painted my chair purple. And now I don't have to stare at stuff. So that is the redesigned candle studio. Looks good, right? So now all the what you call it? All of my what are they called? Molds are all in containers. Every single drawer is different, and I'm really happy with it. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of days. And I had to finish. I just had to finish. I know, aren't they awesome? From what I read, they're 5-inch and then a 3-inch platform. But I put them on. They're so comfortable. And I ordered another pair too that hasn't come in yet. But they're just sandals. Really nice sandals that I got at a really good price. But yeah, I had to get them. But I told Sage I can't wait to wear them. I don't know where I'm wearing them to, but they're so comfortable. I was like, ooh, Uggs in a platform? I love it. I think they're going to look awesome with a pair of jeans, black shirt. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'll wear Uggs all year round. I don't care. So, all right. So much to discuss in such a short time frame tonight. I don't know what the weather's going to be. We had like really bad weather before. And I don't know, Dane got sent home from work because it's like going to be bad weather, but I don't know, it seems fine to me. So I don't know. But there's just a lot of things that I've been seeing over the last couple of days on these streets. And oh, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm kidding, guys. I swear to God, I can't even watch Britney anymore, let alone review her, because I can't handle the fucking hold-ons. Like, it has to be the most annoying thing I've ever seen. And at first, like, it didn't really get to me, but now it's at the point it just got to me. And I was like, I can't even fucking handle it. Like, I just can't handle the hold on. Like 30 seconds. It's unbearable. It really is. It is insane. Unwatchable. Hey, Marie. Unwatchable. It's too much. But there's a couple of things I want to go through. One, I want to give Melissa an award for being the most cringe creator on this entire platform that I've ever seen. Cringe. I don't know if you guys know or not. Justice for Alyssa changed her name to Saint. All right, now Sinner handle is Dave the Sinner. So Melissa changed it to Melissa the Saint. That is fucking creepy. Creepy. I make food and dessert candles, Colleen. It's cringe. Like cringe. Like scary cringe. And I don't know how he doesn't run as fast as he can. I don't care how much money someone gives me. If I think they're a bunny boiler or they're gonna like cut me up, that's my time to leave. Like, bye-bye. So long. See ya. It's creepy as fuck. And there's a small part of me that almost even feels bad for him. Yeah, I can make you one. Just tell me what you want. Did you see how she reacted when I was on his panel? No, I didn't see you on his panel. You were on his panel? Never came on my panel. No, I had no idea you were on the panel. He says he's not going. He claims he's not. That someone that's close to him told me he's not going. I wouldn't go. I mean, fuck, she doesn't even know him. Like, he doesn't even know her. It's creepy. Like, and I don't know if she's doing it to, like, get at Emma or Emmy. I don't even know if Emma and Sinner are still talking. But I believe they had the blowout to begin with because of Melissa, but I'm not 100% sure. If Emmy wants to come here and explain it, I would love to hear it. But I think that's what it was. Marie, am I right? Is that originally why they had a fight? It had something to do with Melissa, or am I way wrong? Sinner's panel? Which live? What day? I want to hear it. I didn't know you go on panels, Fly. What day was it? Let me give him snack money. Oh, what's happening, Steph? Two days ago. No, I want to hear it. He was your first? Why was Sinner your first? Now I'm insulted. All right. You said 2 days ago, which that's 1 day ago. You did a lot of streams. All right. 2 days ago, the one that says Case of the Mondays, he's got 2 of them from 2 days ago. Sunday service, conversation and open panel, and Case of the Mondays. Hey, Lacey Ann. Just place another order. Woohoo! Ah, thanks. How do you like the candles? Which one? You think so? Which one? Sunday? All right.
Coming in minute.
All right, let me find it. Hold on. What? She's not married. She likes to say she's married, but she's not married. She changes the story every day, too. She went from she's happily married, then she had an open relationship, then yesterday, now she's splitting up. They're separating because he's infertile. Like her story changes all the time. Is obsessed with the drink coasters. Sweet. I told you I gave you a few free gifts. All right. Is that you?
Tell us. They're selling like I don't know what this wife here, Brit. Whoa.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm 52, so how old you are?
I'll be 49.
That's not you, right? You're a girl, aren't you? But yeah, fly on the wall. Fly on the wall, that wasn't you, right? You're female. Or am I wrong? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so there's Melissa. So I'm assuming you come up next. All right, I'm talking about this. I don't care if you're a hot mess. Are you doing, what clip are you doing? Are you doing this? Thank you, Lacey Ann. Coming up. Okay. Right there? Is that you? Is that you?
I need a woman that'll make me kinder.
MIA for a while. And
Is that you?
I just last week he posted this big long thing about how his husband really cares for me.
Okay, so the lawnmower scene
So this guy,
to even be released. So let me pull it up so we can look. These are the people since our inception.
is good. I wasn't a boy, so I guess 2001. Well, yeah, person to go. Yeah, she's
I
been.
think the label's like yellow. It's
We had one more.
That was it for this stream. So you must have been in the other one. Because the only guest he had on is that one, Melissa, and that dude at the beginning. So it must have been the other one. No, he made her teeth green. Fly on the wall. You lying.
That's what.
Is that you? Was that you?
Over $250,000 she stole from everyone. All right, bear with me.
Yeah.
What's up, AIM? Good to see you.
Hey, you too. I'm on. So if you don't want you to be in the background, you might want to leave the room. Yeah, I'm trying my first live. This is my first live.
Okay.
Oh, that is you. Is that you?
Got one child leaving and one adult child rolling his eyes at me. So, hold on, he's leaving. All right, bye. Love you, hon. Have a good day. Okay. All right. Anyways, this is my first live, so I'm just trying it.
I'm pretty new at having panels, so we're in this together.
Do I need to turn my volume down?
No, it sounds good.
Okay.
Your camera is on. I don't know if that's something you want.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, let me take the screen down. I just wanted to.
That's why you had the fan, because I wanted to be like this.
Okay.
But I don't want to be creepy.
I had to talk shit about the fan because it's
I
a truth.
understand. I'm a shit talker.
From that Your Mom's House podcast, it's like a real thing. They always talk about that. It's almost become like a character in their show.
Yeah.
Let me take this. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're in business. Let's see. Hopefully.
Yeah, this is my absolute.
Does Melissa come on panel or is she in chat? Like, what am I looking for stuff in chat, or am I looking? She jumps on panel.
Absolute first time ever. So to the chat, I'm sorry I'm loud. I'm sorry it's shaky. I'm sorry it's all over the place. I'm sorry because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I think we're in good shape.
I need to let me get dressed too, because.
Well, I mean, getting dressed is something you should have done before you turned the camera on, but okay.
Okay, make a note, write it down for me, and then email me the list so I can check it off.
Oh, no, I'm not a list maker at all. I actually rebel against lists.
Oh, well, then we won't get along because
Why is he being such an asshole?
I make a list for everything.
Oh, that's
and
terrible.
I know, right? And I have a sense of humor, so this is me.
Well, that's good.
This is me. Yeah, I'm being funny.
So, well, I guess I'll get us started here. How the hell's your day been? What's going on?
All right, it's been good. Okay, now I see chat. Okay, it's good. It's good.
Right on.
Yes, a party in my head all the fucking time. Absolutely. I make friends everywhere I go.
There you go. That's a good way to live.
I know, right? Well, we got our new round of baby chickens yesterday for this season.
Nice. I thought I heard chicks in the background.
You probably hear the coffee pot percolating, and then you hear the cat TV on with their birds and stuff. So I could probably turn that down if that background noise is loud.
It's not a problem. I just noticed it. I mean, the sound of birds.
Only 10 is the loudest, so it's really loud.
I guess. Well, Well, shit. Thanks, Queen. I mean, I haven't introduced you because I'm not sure who you are.
Oh, someone else coming on? Good.
No, you.
Oh, me? Oh, you're talking. Oh, me?
Yes. If you could introduce yourself. I'm guessing AIM is short for Amy, but I don't know.
Amy.
Amy.
Yeah, I'm fly on your wall. I'm everywhere. I filled it in. It said fly on. I put in AIM and then fly on your wall 84 underneath it. No,
I'm an asshole. I turned the names off because I have the Sinner logo.
No.
So far, the only thing she wrote was Tiggle Bitties.
There's too many sinners. It looks. I should be able to. Names on. It's still not working. I'm learning. I still suck at this stuff.
Me too.
But yeah, let's see what the chat is saying. Hope you're feeling good out there, chat. We're just hanging out. I had to take a break from the dumb justice, or I just read Tinkers. I had the dumb review of Crackhead and Two Fake. What's up, Melissa? I thought you were coming up here. Let's stick around and enjoy the knowledge of Arnold Palmer. I'm gonna have to practice saying Arnold like the rest of the day, dude. It's obnoxious.
It's a hot day, really hot, and my wife Winnie, I went home and
Finch says, "Can we leave for vacation tonight? I'm over it."
I said, I've had iced tea and love it. I said,
Winnie, like the girl from what was the name of that TV series with Fred Savage?
but let's do something different. And she said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, let's put some iced tea and then let's top it off with a little lemonade and mix it up and make a drink.
Arnie over here spicing up his beverage life.
Well, that's how to start.
Wonder Years? Were you talking Wonder Years?
Wonder Years. That's it exactly. Yep. That's it. I forgot. Yeah. Great show. I love those shows that have the monologue going over the action, like someone narrating, the narrator voice, just like A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it helps my style of comprehension.
Yeah, me too. I think it does as well.
Because when I watch a movie, I have like 5 different perspectives and like info to it. So I don't ever really know what the plot of it is, but I have my plot. So the narration
So Melissa's like, why do you let her be on top and not me?
helps me keep along with the design of the show.
Yeah, there's just something comforting about it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I was Sinner, I would be so freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. It comforts our thoughts that, yeah, you're right. That's what I was saying, to me anyways.
Cash says, Melissa, for fuck's sake, because Cash is a guy. He's probably freaked out.
So Arnie says to his wife, let's spice up our beverage life.
At home. I was in Palm Springs doing the same thing, building a golf course, and I walked in a restaurant and I ordered
I'm serious, Cash, LOL.
the same drink. I ordered the iced tea and the lemonade, and a lady in the restaurant heard me.
He said, lady.
And she called to the waitress and she says, I want a Palmer. That's where it started right there. And that made me think about it. So I talked to some people and here we are in business.
Mm-hmm. Not only in business, this is a multi-million, I don't know, maybe $1 billion
He
business
kept changing position.
turning into this day where now in every grocery store, every convenience store.
It's fucking cringe. She hasn't even met the guy yet. It's cringe. It's weird. It's fucking spooky. I really feel bad for him. Like, I know how Sinner is. He's probably freaked the fuck out. Like, is this girl gonna fucking blow me up or some shit?
Or every
Rotting teeth across the country with high fructose corn syrup. Thanks, Mr. Palmer. You took what was a nice thing and ruined it.
See, even Cash is like, stop for fuck's sake. This is weird.
I kept changing. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord.
pro shop, Arnold Palmers are being sold.
Well, I could only hope, but at the time I had no idea that it was going to be as big as it is. Arizona has helped us really put this on the market and full
Melissa's at work, dude. She's not coming on panel.
time, and it works. People like it.
There's no doubt they like it. it is excellent. But no one has had this opportunity before to have Arnold Palmer himself mix us one. Now tell us about what's the perfect mix. We brought a pitcher with some ice. We have a couple of glasses. We have regular.
But this is complicated for me because I worked as a server, a waiter for a couple of years, off and on, pretty good at it too. And I would make. We didn't have Arnold Palmer as a beverage item on the menu, but I would make it for people. So I know my measurements. So
I don't even understand like the point of why he's showing this. Arnold Palmer's iced tea and lemonade mix 50-50. That's it. Done. I don't get it.
Oops, sorry.
This may be the most boring shit you've ever seen, but I'm really interested to see. Once we see what the ratios are, then we'll watch something else. Sorry, Amy, you were saying?
Yeah, sorry, I interrupt. I do more sweet tea than lemonade, and then if it's the true Arnold Palmer with the vodka, I do a certain amount of vodka too.
Well, the vodka, the Arnold Palmer with vodka has a different name. I can't remember what it is.
I thought that's what the Arnold Palmer is, and then you just get it alcohol free. No?
Nope, it's just iced tea and lemonade. Remember, even though Arnie here is a raging alcoholic, this is the beverage he
It really just depends on which one you like more.
asked for. It was just
Right?
lemonade and-
Because I thought with Arnold, he didn't use vodka originally. I thought he used like whiskey or some shit only on the golf course. And then, I don't know. I could be all wrong with my, excuse me, my nose itches. Yep, go for it.
I'm going to find out right now because I want to know. Did the original Arnold Palmer have alcohol in it?
The original Arnold Palmer drink does not contain alcohol. It is a non-alcoholic mocktail consisting of equal parts iced tea and lemonade.
Okay, that's what I thought. You get
Okay,
that from
so then what's that? Ask her what the alcoholic version is called then.
Okay, yeah, anything,
Please.
pretty much anything with lemon, you can slap vodka in there. I mean, as a bartender,
That's why don't understand why he's so intrigued by this when it's an Arnold Palmer's 50-50.
you just, I mean, what is the alcoholic version of Arnold Palmer called?
The alcoholic version of an Arnold Palmer is most commonly called a John Daly. It is named after the professional golfer.
Yeah, John Daly. He's the one.
That's right. Yeah.
He's the one who played golf like blackout drunk and fucking like. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Learning with Sinner. I try to show something that's at least different. You know, look. Once we get past like Gemini just said equal parts. I don't think that's what it is.
No, Cheese. Are you talking about me, a paranoid tweaker? Okay. Sorry.
Don't listen to the negativity. Also,
What negativity? What I miss? I don't see negativity other than Melissa.
Because I don't have all messages, so I was just wondering.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Okay.
Regular tea here. Is that okay? And then just regular lemonade.
Well, I will start with this regular tea
Okay.
and give you an idea. I won't be as accurate as they might be, but we'll just pour some in here and have it come right on up.
Mm-hmm. Lots of tea.
We have a full carafe
Nice.
of the tea.
Looks like
Got it.
50-50.
Now, of course, about, people will guess about
I should have made a poll.
what we put in, and I'm not going to tell them exactly what we're going to put in, but I'll give you an idea. We'll just pour some lemonade right in here on top of it. That's it. Mix it up.
Pretty close to the ratio I would use. But I don't mix it. In fact, whenever I would make it from the iced tea dispenser and then the lemonade dispenser at my work, if I did it just
That's what I'm saying. Granted, I was a bartender many years ago, but it's 50-50. It's not rocket science. Like, that's what it is.
the right angle, like if you tap pour, like you see people pour beers so it doesn't just foam up, like side pour. If you do that with the iced tea first and then the lemonade afterwards, they separate and it looks just great coming to the table separated. Let them mix it when they get it.
Let's see what happens. here.
Okay.
There, it's pouring in there pretty good, and I won't bother filling it all up for you. I'll just
He does sound pickled though. He's like, I won't bother filling it up for you.
give you a little shot.
Yeah,
I'm going
let's see.
to take a little myself.
How about this?
Way to
It's a
go.
chance of a lifetime. All right, cheers.
They missed their bathroom break. Like,
Cheers.
All right, let's taste this. Perfect.
Is that good?
It's so good.
yeah, that's good, Arnie. All right, so now that's Arnold making Arnold Palmer. We learned a couple things. It's so funny that they call the alcoholic version of John Daly. That actually adds up completely. Let's see what else I got for you. We'll watch one more lighthearted thing, and then we'll get back to the drama. You can't listen to too much Crackhead Queen Bee like consecutively. It rots your brain, dude. This is your brain on fucking grift. Let's see here. And the cat's scratching at the door again. I hear you, girl. Let's see. What else do I got? Oops, what happened there?
Of course, Melissa hates it.
All right, give me a second, guys. I didn't want watch history. I want watch later. Those are distinctly different. All right, let's look at this airplane shit, man. This airplane got diverted, and the authorities rushed the plane and dragged the guy off. This is my worst nightmare in traveling. It looks like it's having a tough time loading. Weird.
Just for the record, when you have a panel guest on panel, you're supposed to talk to them. If you don't want to talk to them, have them drop down. But I don't get the point of both of them just staring into space.
In the air, forcing a Southwest flight to divert to Atlanta. CBS's Ali Bauman reports on what exactly.
Sorry.
Tonight, Middle East tensions have prompted tightened security.
Oh my God. Video shows armed officers boarding the plane.
Shit, son. Fucking eyeballing him. Let's see here. This crazy woman. Check out this lady. I don't know if you guys.
Some reason,
Dude, just think we have YouTubers that are
like I
mean.
Do not move.
I have no idea what it looks like. I'm not going to watch all of this. This is 17.
secondary.
It's just,
We'll still see some of.
I could put it on my phone, on my camera if you want, Cash.
Fighting for the 100th spot. All right, let's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you pinned the comment here. I got camera. It's quite easier, so I'll prove it my way. Okay, hold on. Ooh, don't get too close.
Extreme close up.
Don't. Okay. Don't mind my mess around my TV. Oh, it's backwards. Look at that, Cash.
You see it? There you go. Oh, I see it. Gotcha, Cash.
Oh,
What's
there
up,
we go.
Ginger Peach?
Right on.
You got Fly on your wall up on the panel with us today. The link is pinned if anybody else wants to come in and join in the fun. I'm going to go back to reviewing the old sunken-eyed fuzzy nuts. Just had to have a quick music break. I don't know what the hell she was on during this live stream, but let's face it, it's pretty entertaining. It's called Jealousy and Hate Bonding, two elements that are imperative to her existence. Let's see here. Let's get the old slack jaw back up here. Jealousy and envy.
Good. Karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch, dude. If karma was real, she's going to get struck by lightning.
His ass stays stuck, little fucker. Little dick. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's play our little thing for Dolly. This is why
No, I'm not going to do that. Nope. Oh, she's using my voice again. This bitch is obsessed with me. I think she's got a crush, guys.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely.
A basket of deox.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's so weird, man. That's so weird. I'm now a soundbite on a crackhead soundboard, dude.
This is natural.
Oh, okay.
This is natural. Yeah. I run off energy. I don't run off, as in my conversations are off energy. I don't do like surface level shit. So I'm a very special person.
I promise I'm not judging you. That was an assumption.
No, there's no judgment. Shit, we judge ourselves. Ask away. Yes, I'm in recovery. Yes, it's been over 10 years. Yes, I know a lot of shit. Yes, you can ask. I will tell you everything. Open book. Yes, yes, yes. Secrets cause cancer, is my opinion. So
breathe, take a breath.
Oh yeah, no, I am breathing. No, this is I'm trying to tell you. This is me. Like I'm not like excited in my emotions right now. I'm not. This is me. This is straight fucking me. Now, if I'm quiet and down, then it's like, okay, what's wrong? But this is me. This is
What made you choose his panel to go on? Just out of curiosity.
me. I'm not mad or angry. I'm actually super happy right now.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Let's do this damn thing in that case.
Right? I'm telling you, that's why I was saying in chats the other times. Like, I would love to come on panel because I've got a great perspective and I have great follow-up questions once one question answered. And, you know, I've my theologies, my idea, everything. I am not a textbook. I'm not a normal person. And no one can shame me for it because I know who I am. So well, I think I would be kick-ass content. Even for the people that like to make fun of content creators, go fucking for it. I got the wrinkles, yep. But I also have the smile that brought them here, so fuck off. Like, I don't care.
I'm not sure if you're open to suggestions.
Secrets and lies cause cancer? I don't have any secrets and lies, and I had cancer.
But there's a time slot, like late at night when Brittany J's on. If you go live during that time slot and you have some decent content to offer, there's like thousands of people that will watch you. I mean, all you have to do is show up on time and say hello to the people in your chat when you go live. Like, I would recommend it. I mean, it's really not that, it's just like what you're doing now if you go live.
Yeah, and I had to get this out of my system. I haven't felt comfortable enough with anybody until today. So I don't know what it is about today. I think it's your chat. I know your chat through reading and communicating and talking, but your chat has a lot to do with making me feel comfortable enough to drop the fuck in and be like, this is me. I know who I am. I've
got decent people over here. They'll poke some fun.
Absolutely. And I know who's watching you. So hi guys. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Like,
what's up, haters?
Don't bore me with your wah-wahs and your Yes, I have boobs. Yes. They're also flat, wrinkly, and out of shape. Yes. How old am I? 47. So everything I have, I've earned and I own. So anyways.
There's another person around here with boobs. I think he goes by Vibrator. I think, have you heard of that guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, what? Well, see, I would do shit. Boobs are boobs,
He sounds
everybody,
like
Sorry, what?
I said that Vibrator guy, the guy who calls himself that, he sounds like he's got boobs.
Oh, it's a dude?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's impossible for me to tell. Okay, Melissa's going to come up and join us. Let's
nice.
Let's get through a little bit of this and just speak up if you got something to say. I'll pause the video as quickly as I can.
Okay.
I know, right?
I know.
And
right?
check this out, Dolly. You're sitting. Listen, that's your karma, bitch.
Sorry, South Carolina. See, this woman is making these allegations that she built my channel or had something to do with the popularity of my channel or the viewership of my channel. She had nothing to do with any of them.
Sinner, that's bullshit. All you did was talk about Queen Bee. You built your channel on Queen Bee haters. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
That when I began to support Brittany J, that useless motherfucker, what happened was I lost a couple hundred subscribers through hard work and tenacity and
Are you gone? Did you leave?
At least a semi-regular schedule of going live and entertaining the people that are subscribed and members to my channel. I maintain those members. Life, man, it's dead air.
Thank God you're off, because I cannot do that anymore. This is a boring ass fucking stream. Oh, she was so mad she was coming on panel? Is that what she said? Did I miss that? Hold on, now I'm looking for her. There she is. Hold on. Yeah, I thought she was at work.
And you didn't get in trouble?
No, we never got caught. They had to. They did have to get a big ass crane to get it out of there.
Wow. I'm not leaving my cars around you.
Well, I
Fuck
mean, you have to have a good senior prank. A good senior prank.
Yeah.
So do you?
So I had a
review
little.
these dumpsters? Oh, sorry.
No. I just came to say hi. I wanted to tell you a couple things. So, one, I wanted to tell you that a little girl walked up to me today, and she was about 4 years old, and she was like, "I have lice."
Oh, good times, dude. Take that shit to Turks and Caicos with you. Infect the whole island.
Well, actually, we need to talk about that too. So, my inbox was going off like rapid fire today. So I think that you are either gonna have to spill the beans or not.
Spill the beans. I got my passport ready. What are we talking about?
Well, I wasn't.
He's full of shit. Unless he didn't have a passport already, you can't get your passport done in like 3 days or a week. He's full of shit.
Expecting you to like talk about it at all.
And why would Sinner have a passport? He never goes anywhere.
In your live. So we'll just talk later. Okay.
Okay.
And then okay.
Teaching says she got pregnant as her senior prank. Oh dear.
Oh my
So did
God.
So did my sister.
Well, you know what? I got pregnant my senior year too. There we go. I had Alyssa a month before my 18th birthday.
Not me. I was already worried about overpopulating the world.
Oh, you weren't pregnant your senior year?
No, I am now though. It's fucking YouTube's baby.
So barbecue lady,
she laughs like a little girl. Like I can't with this. And I let me be honest. I don't even know why she fucking pisses me off so much. I can't tell you that. She just does. Like she just gets under my fucking skin. Like worse than Britney. I don't know why.
made an announcement on Queen Bee's panel that, so you know how she was like begging for money, like hardcore begging.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this, like fucking begging. So this bitch said that she's not asking for money anymore. Her lawyer is going to see it till the end, which means like the lawyer is going to pay for everything, right? Or like cover the costs. Well, as soon as she said that, she sent like $1,000 over to Queen Bee.
Oh dear God, dude.
How do you like that?
That's so crazy. Well, it's sort of like what they were accusing you of, like collecting money for GoFundMe and then super chatting. But no one mentioned that, hey, the GoFundMe has been closed for a very long time. Like, what the hell?
I know. I haven't collected on it. And when I did, it was like at like, I think $4,000, and it was 8 months and whatever. And obviously, you know, but yeah. So she'd rather take the money and give it to Queen Bee than like do right by the lawyer that's seeing the rest of the 20,000 or whatever it is. Nice, right?
That's just the trash ass that I've known her as the whole time. She's been garbage the whole time. Begging for grocery
she's a piece.
money. And I saw that grocery, I think it was Shady that made a video of her grocery shopping for the most expensive shit. Like,
can you imagine having to pay for friends or pay for a boyfriend? Or I could not imagine. Call me old school. Tell me I'm old. Tell me my values are fucked up. But I'm sorry. Women should not be buying men. If a man is going to impress you, they're going to do it. Maybe they don't have a lot of money, but they're going to impress you in other ways. They're not going to sit back and allow you to pay for shit. They're not going to sit back and allow you to give them tons of money. It's fucking weird.
I don't know. I'm gonna start calling her Baby Bell, because you know those little cheeses in the miniature boxes. She reminds me of somebody that always has a snack, dude. She's always eating.
She is always fucking eating. I think she's got a problem though. I don't want to make fun of her on that. But she is always eating. Yo, fun fact, my grandfather, he eats the wax on the fucking Baby Bell. He doesn't.
Okay. This is boring me to tears. But I don't know why she gets under my fucking skin. She just does. Like, she's the equivalent to hold on. I don't know why. There's no reason for me to be so fucking agitated by her, but she just pisses me off. I can't explain it. Guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up. I just can't explain it. It's just fucking weirds me out that she is so attention seeking and she laughs like a little girl about a guy she's never even fucking met. It's creepy. And then she's lying, saying that they're going on vacation together, which they're not. Sinner told somebody that he's not going, that it's all a joke. And she's still sticking with it. But the part of Sinner I do want to get into, because I was fucking cringing. There is a big difference between reviewing and insulting. Look, I am no Britney fan. I think she is as cringe can get. I think she's a lowlife. I think her boyfriend is a piece of shit. I make no bones about it. And I think they're both fucking idiots. Okay, so keep that in mind. But the way he talks to her, and it's like Queen Bee all over again. And I tried listening to it for a couple of minutes today. I was cringing. Like, dude, this isn't reviewing. This is just insulting and bullying. Like, even Nonsense, who I cannot stand, but even Nonsense, when she reviews Britney, she actually reviews her. Granny reviews her. I review her. Queen Bee, well, I'll say B Tim, reviews her. He doesn't review her. He just bashes. And it's like the same lines that he does with Queen Bee, just insert new person. It's fucking weird. So let me show you what I heard today. And then, like, he talks about Craig getting a job. Dude, you don't have a fucking job. He talks about Craig not being a man. Well, multiple men have called Sinner out, and nothing comes of it. Sinner shies away. Sinner only goes after women. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 people that's gone after him, and he won't.
That's Samantha's business, so I'm not going to get into that. But well, it looks like she shared
this whole Samantha Joy thing. Let me give you my 2 cents on this. I don't believe she had an executive VP position, because an executive VP position would hold power. And all she would have to say online is it's not her, or that wasn't her, it was a clone, if it even mattered. But yeah, I don't believe that she was an executive VP. No, you're not a cop. If you were a cop, I could see it, but you're not a cop. So you're not a lawyer. An executive VP of a travel agency would not give a fuck about online activity. Nobody's going to even know who you are. So yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. Just my opinion.
Some information here. So let's have a look-see. Had a domestic dispute with her drunken boyfriend, and now she came back to the microphone. And what does she have to say? Let's see.
I'm going to spare y'all and myself from going through that long, drawn-out email.
Yeah. You can't read. We get it.
You can read it on
I'll pull it up. There's something in there she doesn't want you to see.
own. You let me read it. You're over there talking the whole time. So, in the fucking email, I'm about to
Go to bed, Craig.
in there. In the email, she basically she's saying, or on the community post that she's made, she's basically saying over and over and over that right here, like these communications went beyond normal online disagreements and entered the realm.
Factual. Well, I know that's right. I mean, that's what YouTube is all predicated upon. If someone is claiming they have nothing to do with contacting my former employer, then obvious question is simple. Where is the proof? Where are the receipts showing that they were not involved? That's tough to prove a negative, but I know I smell what you're cooking. Where's the evidence showing they never called or emailed anyone? Accusations are easy to make. Evidence is what matters. Exactly. Until the legal matter is resolved, there are limits to what I can publicly share. I appreciate the people who understand that and who recognize that legal processes require discretion. Thank you to those who continue to support me while I know drama. Instead, it is to clear my name, document what occurred, and emphasize the seriousness of harassment and misinformation. Sorry.
I'm just going to stay on I'm going to be on my phone for the time being to talk. Can you guys hear me?
Just tweaker moves, man. Why get off your computer to get on your phone? What is happening? Why?
Like, why does that fucking matter? To me, this is like he's just throwing shit out there to insult.
Is this just something you do every 3 a.m. compulsively? The fuck?
Reality, I can drop the link if you want to come up or if anybody wants to come up.
Oh, yeah, that's what we need. Reality. Yay.
Just let me know if you guys can hear me okay.
Or that Craig would drive. If you hear the car noise, my neighbor just doesn't believe in mufflers. And he usually comes in and slams it.
Oh, Red, you didn't hear it this morning? Oh, she was on fucking fire. She was on fire this morning. I'll play some of it. It was good. She was good. She held no prisoners.
Door and bumps the music too. So, but we have a deal. If I don't fuck with him, he won't fuck with me. So, I like to bump my music sometimes as well. Brittany J, you suck at this.
I want you to listen to me closely, okay? And I'm not even saying this to be mean.
So, some asshole like me with the fucking $160 Chromebook runs circles around her. Seriously, let's do an experiment. When this useless bitch tries to cover true crime, we'll cover the same case here and see who does it better.
Like, why do you need to say that? What is the fucking point? Like, to me, he's going to be the next one to go. This is straight up bullying. Just straight up bullying. There's no two ways about it. And I don't know why anybody fucking supports this shit. It's gross. It's literally gross. I'll be honest. GW was way better than this. Hold on, let me pull it up. And Granny made some really good points today. Let me just get to where this girl pops on. Okay. She was on point. And that was the other thing I want to get into. She said everything that I've already said and need people to understand, which was the second half of my live tonight. Unless you're Jewish, or grew up in a Jewish home, you may not fully understand anti-Semitism and what it means to a Jewish person. Now, for me personally, and I know Granny is the same as I am, she's not very religious, but you still grew up in a certain mindset and you still grow up a certain way. So we do, and she grew up on the East Coast. She knows what anti-Semitic behavior is. So the one thing that Granny said today, and I've said in the past as well, is you do not know what is going to cause someone to feel threatened. Hey, Denise, you just don't. What may not seem threatening to me or you may seem very threatening to Julie. Now, personally, like I've said, Craig doesn't leave his fucking house. He's nothing to be worried about. But Julie may not know that. And Julie admits that, you know, she cries. She's, you know, all uptight. She cries a lot and she gets upset a lot. But, and I don't want to hear she's older because she's only a year older than me. But you can't say what's going to hurt someone else or what someone else is going to feel sad for or what someone else is going to feel upset for or someone else might not be as tough. People should know this from the chats. I mean, just people on YouTube as a whole. Like, I've pissed people off where I think I've done nothing wrong. I'm like, what the hell are they so mad at? And people are like, well, they have every right to be mad. You said this and this. I'm like, big fucking deal. But it is a big deal to them. And I can't discount that or discredit that just because I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, some people are more sensitive than others. And I really believe that Jess did phenomenal today explaining this without going overboard. But really, like, this was the most mature I've seen Granny in a long time. Like, for real.
Yeah, again, my only concern would be doing it to other people. But again, I mean, like it's been stated, if she can't do it, if she doesn't have the evidence or the proof to do that. So
right, or the reason to.
Right.
I think a lot of people have a problem with the fact that it absolutely that she uses her son in it. And again, that's the same thing Brittany does.
Yep.
I get it. I truly get it. That's why very early on when Julie came around here, she is an advocate for autism. She has had laws passed for autism. She's written books on it. And when she came here and she had all those videos, many people.
I'm like way ahead.
What a great idea, DJ. We're just going to go ahead and pin that one and keep that right there. Because I'm not fucking Julie. For some reason, I can't pin it, but there we go. Exactly, Angel Sleuth. File terror. No, they don't. No, they don't. You need to hire a lawyer to prove there is no fucking merit. It does not need it to go through. Hey, girl.
Hey, sorry it took me a minute. There was a dog I had to return to the owner. All I was saying earlier though is for me, like I said, I'm not trying to stand up for BJ. Fuck BJ, and I think she deserves everything she gets after what she put you through. But at the same time, we can't base like Julie's basing from what we've seen that she's claiming that BJ did. It's all lies. So if you can go to the court and lie on somebody and pull them into court, then what happens when the next person does that and the next person does that? And I understand that it all started with you because you obviously didn't stop the search for Sebastian like they.
All right. None of these lawsuits started with Granny or Betty. It started with JLR. I don't know why people forget that. JLR was the one that came in this community and started lawsuits. He was sue happy. He was going to sue everybody. And then he sued, what's his name? Unirock. That's where Betty got the idea. Yeah, Craig's court case was changed.
Tried to claim. Fuck Brittany and whatever she gets herself into. That's neither here nor there. That she deserves that shit 100%. But I think that with the shit going on with Julie right now, it could create a monster. Like today, she's fuck Brittany, but tomorrow it could be fuck you, fuck Queen, fuck me, fuck Clue, fuck whoever, and then everybody's getting pulled into court, and not even just Julie, like the next person or the next person.
So let's slow it down and go back. What part of Julie's filing or report is a lie?
Well, I haven't checked everything, and I will be the first to say that.
You just confidently came up here and said it was all lies, right?
No, I've heard. Hold on, let me get the document.
And please don't take anything I'm saying personal. I'm at this. No. I adore you. You know, I adore you. I listen to your true crime all the time. I'm not saying this to be personal with you. I'm just generally asking how you can confidently come up here and state that it was lies. And when I ask which part, say, well, you know, hold on.
Yeah,
a minute.
I apologize about that. And no, I'm not going to take it. I don't take it personally. Shit.
Thank you.
I think you pointed out the other day where Craig had said something about, like, you know, you're old and you could die at any moment. I haven't checked, like I said, and that is my fault.
That's not what
to double check.
That's not what Craig said. He said Granny may not wake up in the morning. It was others that said, well, as you get older, there is a chance you may not wake up in the morning, to justify what Craig said. What Craig said is, Granny, you may not wake up in the morning, as Julie's on the screen. So it wasn't about me. It was about Julie.
Okay.
And again, somebody could take that as a threat. It all depends how sensitive you really are. If you are truly a sensitive person, you're going to take that as a threat.
So that instance right there for me is going to be an issue, because was he talking about you, even though Julie was on the screen? And if so, then that's technically a lie.
No, he was not. The whole discussion was about Julie. He refers to Julie very often as an old ass lady, as a grandmom. And, you know, they were calling her skull snatch and all of that. It was definitely about Julie.
Okay. So I think that when you pointed that out, that was the one that I could say could possibly not be a lie. She said that, I know for a fact that in that document, I'm trying to pull it up on my computer because I can't find it now in my papers, but
Julie has a right to feel whatever the fuck she feels. I told her today during a live, I'm like, Julie, stop apologizing for how you feel. If you felt threatened, then who gives a shit what nonsense or anyone else thinks? It's only a matter of what you feel, not how others perceive you should feel.
She says that BJ doxed her son. The short that BJ pulls up, her son's face is redacted. You see a shirt that says seniors, and that's it. It doesn't give the name of a school. It doesn't show anything like that. So she technically did not dox Julie's son, in my opinion, from what I saw on the short that she pulled up. A dox would be like my dox, where it said, you know, had my mugshot, had my charge, had my actual full name. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I don't see. I'm looking now, but I don't see where it says she doxed my son. What I see is she says that as Brittany Jackson obtained and knowingly displayed content of my autistic, recognized disabled by state, and I disagree with Julie always labeling, I've said that, son that I had deleted years ago, but because he does not want to be, because he does not want to be on social media. She doesn't use the word dox in this at all.
I finally got it pulled up. I apologize.
She said Miss Jackson blurred his face. She revealed identifying information about his public school.
At the time of the video, the conduct
at the time of the video.
Yeah.
But right here, it shows you how twisted people can make things. And Granny did such a good job of calling this girl out on every single point and showing her where she's wrong. I mean, the girl really looks stupid.
Yeah. So there's no information in that about his public school other than the shirt that says seniors. I don't know how you could track that back to whatever school he was in. So I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, it would be semantics. I would have to pull the claims, which is December 2025, December 4th, December 10th, and December 25th, which nonsense has been going through. And again, I can only speak for myself, but I don't think that she's trying to come at you or you're trying to go out her or she's trying to stand up for BJ.
But Fanta, you don't know that. You don't know if she's afraid. You don't know. Like, she seems like, unlike me and Jess, she seems very into her Jewish religion. That is going to hit home. Someone that's anti-Semitic, she's going to do something about. And there is so much hate crime and so much hate stuff. Again, it's not something that would affect me or Jess. We would just kind of blow it off. But it's going to affect someone like Julie. And you can't fault her for that, because that's how she feels.
I think she's trying to point out or show what Julie's saying and how it can be misconstrued.
Right. Anything can be misconstrued. And I agree. I don't think she's doing it to go at me or anything like that. But to be quite honest, I like, even right now, when we said about Craig saying, you know, Granny may not wake up in the morning, you have people in the chat saying, well, he calls everybody Granny, so that's okay then? No. And that's just one. That's just one of the comments. That's not the whole arraignment of them. That's one of many. So when you add that in, then you add in the fact that he says, we got your address, honey. You and your husband, we got your address now. We got your address. You got the fact he's waving around pistols. You got the fact that he has a violent record. You got the other stuff he said about you're too old to be risking your life. Those who have crossed us have ended up dead. You got all of that. And quite frankly, I'm just appalled that anybody, including you, would look to justify any of that and or make it like that is not as harmful as it is. Who are we to say if Julie feels threatened by those threats or not?
Well, I think, again, this one, what I'm talking about is specifically about BJ. I agree 100% that Craig is a problem. He shouldn't be saying that. And that is fucking scary. And I would absolutely be afraid for my life if somebody was saying that stuff about me. This document in particular is in reference to BJ. I think she absolutely has a case against Craig. And if I go through and see that everything she stated on that document was true, I would say she absolutely has a case against BJ. I just don't personally.
And people have to remember, is she dramatic? Yeah, she's very dramatic. But just because she's dramatic doesn't mean that, are the police dramatic? Is the DA dramatic? Is the judge dramatic? Like, like she said, and she's right, all she can do is present the evidence. If they decide that they feel that that's threats, then it goes to court. And that's exactly what happened.
I only think that she put out public information about her son's school. Everything she said on Craig is 100%.
Let's take that part off, right? So there has been an escalation in December of 2025 of cyber harassment, repeated threatening statements, and an alarming, menacing conduct targeting me, communicate electronically over social media, and documented in 3 police reports filed with the Northern Halden PD. Is that a lie or is that true?
That's true, referencing Craig.
No, this is about Brittany and Craig on here.
Right, but she's only taking the charges out against Brittany because she's got the restraining order against Craig, because she wrote at the top Craig and then marked it out, and then it's just BJ.
Right. So has BJ done these things or not? In your opinion, obviously, this is just all our opinion.
Well, BJ tells Craig to stop. I think BJ, I'm sure, to be fair, I'm sure we could go through those live streams and see where BJ has absolutely said fucked up shit about Julie that she could be in fear from, and that could be considered harassing. So I would say it's fair for her to feel that way when it comes to BJ, but more so Craig.
Okay. And then the next one is Roger Craig Black and Brittany Jackson over their YouTube channel with over 20,000 subscribers made explicit threats of violence, suggesting bodily harm and death, causing me fear and significant emotional distress. True or not?
If you're talking about Craig.
Okay. Also, Brittany Jackson obtained and knowingly displayed.
And here's the other thing, and I could be totally wrong on this, so don't hold this on me. But you have Brittany, who brought Clue and Cletus to court, who brought Granny to court. So what if, just what if somebody wants to teach them what it's like and just, had enough evidence to go against them? Why is that so wrong? Why is it okay for Brittany to do it, but it's not okay for someone else to do it to the very person that's done it to other people? Like, just think about that for a second. What if Julie was going over the top? Why is it okay for Brittany and nobody else? And I think that's Granny's mentality, and I have to agree with her. But again, I don't know for that to be factual. It's just my own opinion.
Content of my autistic, recognizable, disabled by the state son. True or not?
She did share the video, yes, but his face was redacted.
Okay. And she does say that I had deleted years ago because he does not want to appear on social media. Now, that's the part people are saying is a lie. But what Julie was saying is she deleted it off of YouTube. I don't know about you allegedly, but if I got your government name and I went over to your Facebook and I took a video of your children, redacted their faces, but played it, would you find that to be inappropriate?
Well, yes, I can say that most people would. For me, myself, I'll use my docs as an example. And I've stated on my channel, I am upset that I was doxxed and I don't want my legal name out there. But at the end of the day, if I hadn't put out information that made them able to obtain the information on me, then it wouldn't be out here. I obviously gave them something that made them be able to pull information on me and get my legal name. So at the end of the day, I need to take accountability for that. But that's me. That's not most people.
Okay, now I agree with that. But if I did, because now I have your information, because whatever you put out, I was able to find your information. And I was making live streams going at you, and I was calling you allegedly, I don't know, they were calling her skull snatch, whatever, I made up a different name about you. And
you hear that thunder? Here's the thing. And I knock on wood, but I'm not relevant anymore. So I think it's kind of pointless that I would even be worried. But all my shit's out there. My name, my address, my kid's name, my kid's school, my kid's colleges. Everything is out there. Nothing has ever happened other than CPS calls, but that was years ago. Even as much as I'm hated, knock on wood, as much as I'm hated around here, nobody's ever fucked up my business. Yeah, they may review shit, but nobody's ever fucked with my business. Nobody's ever given bad reviews out of nowhere just because they want to be a cunt. So all these people that say, oh, I don't want my name out there. What are you hiding? Like that, if you look at any real creator, their name's out there. Their address is out there. Like, think about it. These lawyers, they go by their real names. They're not scared. A lot of people. So I get a little skeptical when people are like, oh, I don't want my real name out there. Why? What are you so afraid of? It's just a feeling I have. Like every time I hear somebody say that, I'm like, hands off. Like that's creepy to me.
And I was repeatedly saying things against your religion and calling you vile names and all. And then I pulled up a video of your children, redacted the face or not, and played that video. What intent would I have to play that video?
To come at me. And I think that
to
we
harass
100
you, right?
Yeah, I could say we 100% can say that Brittany could have probably more than likely pulled it up to go at Julie to harass her.
Right. Now, could you imagine? I know that there's a video of Brittany's son out there right now. Can you?
And also, if someone wanted my address and didn't know it, order a candle. You'll get my full address. You know what I mean? Like it I just don't know what everybody's trying to hide. And it's not like I'm so well loved. Nobody fucked with me.
Can you imagine if I pulled that up but redacted his face and played the video? Do you think Brittany would be outraged? Do you think people would call it harassment, inappropriate, going after kids?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the next part, we have both myself and my autistic son were taunted, and although Miss Jackson blurred his face, she revealed identifying his public school at times of video. Now, do we have the full video where Brittany did that?
We do. My rabbit was in my room. We Nonsense pulled it up. It was a post by War Damn Eagle, and I only saw it while it was paused, so I can't say for sure. I'd have to go back and look at that live stream, and I don't even know that I have it. But what I saw,
Hey, Jill.
while it was paused, was it just showed a shirt that said seniors and a purple thing on his face.
So the video was never played. So we don't know what discussion they had around.
Just so you guys know, we're having really bad thunder. So if all of a sudden I go down, my lights went out.
That video being pulled up, or the intent of pulling that video up because it was never played, right?
Well, I don't. Nonsense probably did play it, but I didn't see that part because I was probably cooking or something, to be fair.
Yeah, but in all reality, Irish, Granny made her look stupid. Like, I don't know who she is. I've never watched her, but Granny legit made her look fucking stupid. Like, she countered every single thing where this person was like, how to spin it around. Oh, yeah, you're right, Granny. Oh, yeah, you're right, Granny. Oh, yeah, you're right, Granny. Like, Granny owned her, and she did it beautifully.
The chat saying the video was never played. It was a screenshot. Okay. So we don't know, but the mascot was shown. So I could easily find somebody's school based off a mascot, especially if I already know they live in New Jersey.
I don't think the mascot was shown, but I could be wrong.
If pictures of Brittany's sons were shown, it was never shown by me. So that's debunked. Did anybody else see a mascot shown by Brittany? If so, can you put a 1 in the chat? I'd love to see how many people saw the mascot. Lacey Ann says it was. But people are saying it wasn't. So I'm curious. But again, that's the problem because Brittany deleted half of this shit, right? So now we're going off whatever screen recording somebody else has and whatever parts they want to play about it. Yes, he's 22 now. It was 4 years ago. It's still somebody's child. He's still a vulnerable adult, and it's still done with the intent to harass the mother. Why else would you pull up anybody's child? Anybody's.
I agree with that.
All right, so now we go to the next one. The conduct of Roger Craig Black and Brittany Jackson calls for an emotional distress to me and my autistic son.
I mean, I can agree with that because it was done with the intent to harass or intimidate or
See, my opinion, this person is going by what Nonsense says, and that's what she's going by. It's just nonsense.
Calls for emotional distress. I can agree with that.
So then which part of this do you say is a lie?
Well, you might have got me on that. So you might have heard me wrong and made me think differently.
Because honestly, I think what's happening is Julie does have a record out here of being histrionic, exaggerant, dramatic as fuck, and emotionally unstable. And I think a lot of people are looking at that and they hear one person say, well, her entire, filing is based off of lies. But when we break it down one by one, there's not really a lie in here. It may seem dramatic to us. It may seem exaggerated to us, but it's not necessarily a lie.
Well, I would go back. The only thing that I could say that I still would have a big problem with after talking about it would be the fact that it's Craig that is causing threats specifically.
How is Craig transferring those threats?
Through the internet on Brittany's channel.
And what is New Jersey and North Carolina's law about that? That Brittany is accountable then.
Yeah.
Right? Here at midnight, if you think that this is full of lies, you click the link. Allegedly would stick to her guns if she literally wanted to. She's not afraid to. But go ahead and you click the link and you tell me how it's full of lies then, because we just went sentence by sentence. If anybody can come up, tell me how it's full of lies, I'll hear you out. I'm not watching everything you guys are watching, so I don't know. Tell me. I'm just going based off these words.
And I haven't watched every live stream and I haven't watched everything she pulled up because, like I said, Nonsense has pulled up every live stream that Julie has referenced. It's not that I'm not sticking to my guns, but I'm a very open-minded person. And if we're going to, talk and have a conversation, I want to hear both sides. And if you make me see a point that I was seeing in a different light, I'm going to, understand. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and be like, no, it's full of lies if you have shown me how it's not.
Right.
I
I agree. Just like if you came up here and said to me, well, Jess, right here is a lie and this is why.
And that's what we keep saying. A prosecutor isn't going to court and argue something they think has no merit. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter if we think she's histrionic or if she's dramatic. It doesn't matter. It's not YouTube. It's like it doesn't matter what nonsense thinks. And all these people that are following nonsense, it's crazy to me.
I would respect that, and I would take it at face value and believe you. I have no reason not to. I'm not Julie, and quite frankly, I don't even necessarily care about Julie. He's not nonverbal in my understanding, Quentin. He's actually the higher functioning one. But anyway, my whole thing is I just don't understand why people are so emotionally invested to the point where they're excusing it.
This is about nonsense, if you can't catch on.
Things that Craig and Brittany have done, like the fact that people wrote in the chat, well, he calls everybody Granny.
That doesn't make it acceptable. I agree 100% with that.
Right.
They do need to be held accountable. I just want to make sure that they can be.
Especially when you add in the fact that, as you said, like, okay, well, this isn't necessarily Brittany, but it is, because without Brittany's channel, without Brittany's mic, and without Brittany's live stream, Craig couldn't do these things. Hence why Craig is with the TPO and Brittany is getting a petty girl. It is a slap on the wrist. It is a speeding ticket. It is nothing. It's not even nothing worth hours and hours of defending, because it's literally nothing.
Right. And I'm not standing up for Brittany. I think she deserves this and more for what she's done and weaponizing the court systems like she has. 100%. I'm with you. For me, thinking that, all of these things are not true, that was the issue. It's not that it's Brittany. Brittany deserves everything she's got coming to her and more, in my opinion.
So then why are you sticking up for her? Why is nonsense sticking up for her? If she deserves all this and more, then just shut the fuck up. Stop giving Brittany advice and let it go down the way it's going to go down, period.
What she's done. But I just want to make sure that if Julie's going to do this, that it's based on actual, what's actually happened.
Why the fuck do you care? It has nothing to do with you.
That have actually occurred.
Right. No, I agree with that. And so far, unless there's another report in this one, I mean, what she said occurred did actually occur. So when people immediately say, well, her filing is full of lies, but yet they're not offering how or why. And instead, the offer that is being given is, well, that threat wasn't to Julie. Well, who was it to? It was to everybody on the dark side. Okay, well, that includes Julie. Well, he said Granny, he calls everybody Granny. Oh, well, the truth is we are old and you don't know if you're.
My opinion, it's just my opinion. Again, I can't back it up with facts, just my opinion. The way I think Granny is thinking is exactly how some of us are thinking as well. And that is, why do you give a fuck what Julie does if it's going to give Brittany a piece of what she's given me? How are you my friend? How are you supporting me when you're sitting there giving Brittany advice or saying how Julie's crazy? Or that's how I think Granny is thinking. And she would be 100% right. And by the way, don't forget, hit the thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, you can do it by super chats, cash apps. By the way, thank you for my cash app. I saw that. Cash app, PayPal, buy a candle or buy some lotion. But that's how I think Granny is thinking. Like, who cares what Julie's doing? I just spent thousands of fucking dollars because of this tramp. And now you're sticking up for her because you don't like Julie? Fuck you. I get it. I totally get it.
you're going to wake up in the morning. It seems like justifications are being given because of the dislike of Julie.
I can agree with that because he should not be saying that somebody's not going to wake up in the morning and everybody's granny and all that 100%. He says some shit and I've wondered how the hell he's gotten through life as far as he has.
Nah, thank you, Lacey.
To be quite frankly honest, saying the things he has and that.
Yeah, but too bad the general consensus around here hates me.
I'm not making any kind of threats or anything. I'm just saying if I met a person who was saying shit like that at a bar, they might get punched in the face, so I just
absolutely
I don't know how he's been able to say all the things that he's been able to say. I definitely agree with that he needs to stop saying that shit and somebody needs to hold him accountable, but that person has to do it based on the truth. And that's all it was for me. And I think that's all it is for a lot of people. It's not necessarily standing up for BJ. It's that it has to be the truth. And now that I've spoken with you about it, I can see how these things can be perceived as true, even if it is dramatic.
Right. And that's why Julie originally wanted cyber harassment charges. And after the judge or the prosecutor, whichever one, I believe the judge looked it over, they stated, well, it doesn't really equate to the level of cyber harassment, but it does equate to petty harassment. So we'll hold a hearing on it and see where it goes from there. Right. So It's not like Julie got exactly what she wanted out of it. It was definitely watered down to a bit. But I also don't, and I agree with this. It's not like this is precedent setting, right? Like people are acting like, well, if Julie succeeds with this, she'll succeed with everything. Well, shouldn't the same be said for anybody who's ever called the police or ever, sought out for an RO or what makes this one different?
Well, like I was saying, and I've said before, I feel like.
See, now I think it'll set a precedence in the sense of that maybe Craig and Brittany will change their ways and not be such an asshole. And maybe Craig will realize there's consequences for his big mouth.
Like if she goes through with this and it's accepted widely, that we would be creating a monster because Julie does a lot of things for acceptance, and it's acceptance of whoever she wants to accept her at the time. That is my opinion. That's not based on fact.
I can see how you feel that way. I get it.
And then if she does this to BJ today, then tomorrow, who's it going to be? But at the same time, in order for her to do something tomorrow to somebody else, she would have to have evidence and a judge would have to agree. So.
Right. So do you see anybody else that acts the way Brittany and Craig act?
No, and I hope I don't.
Right. So like, it's not like Brittany and Craig haven't done these actions. It's not like Craig hasn't been online waving around a gun, drunk, threatening to kill people. Matter of fact, he's starting to kill many people. Right. So like, we know that he does have these anger outbursts where he says socially unacceptable things that do form to be a valid threat. It is absolutely a vile threat when it comes in front of the courts. The only way Craig is able to do that, being he is a band creator himself, is through Brittany Jackson's platform. And without Brittany hitting the go live stream and is involving him in the conversation, Craig would have not been able to express those threats the way he did, hence the petty harassment charge on Brittany.
I agree with that.
I really don't understand weird. There's so many words I can use, but she's getting beat up left and right, so I won't. She absolutely does all these things. I'm not disagreeing with the actions people have pointed out about Julie. What I'm disagreeing with is watering down the acts of Craig and Brittany and looking to justify and or diminish what they have done based on the fact that Julie is disliked.
Yeah, and I think again though, I just want to underline that I'm not trying to water down anything that they've done intentionally. I can see how it's being done by proxy about this and saying that it's lies. I could definitely under proxy. It's not my intention to water down, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the first thing you adamantly said is.
So Julie's holding them accountable and you're listening to nonsense.
That is full of lies, right? So people hear that, and because they respect us as creators, they then take that, and then you see the next person will say that, and the next person will say lies. And then the next, and then before you know, it's a whole chat saying this whole file is full of lies. And it's like, well, where? And not many people can answer where, because it's simply not. Exaggerations, maybe. Dramatized as what Julie does, yes, but not necessarily a lie.
Right. I agree. And I did misspeak and say that it was full of lies, because that was my impression at the time.
And wouldn't you agree? And because I agree with this, if people don't host, be friends with, or speak about Julie, then she can't take anyone to court, right? So
Right.
if the idea is, well, if we allow Julie to get away with this, then she can do it to the next person. If that's a legitimate fear, then why are people going so hard at her right now? Shouldn't you be afraid that she'll do it to you too? Not you. Yeah, I'm just speaking in general here.
Right. I mean,
or is that a cop out to try to get people also emotionally riled up and then be like, oh, this could happen to anybody next? Well, you don't seem afraid of that.
no, I mean, I'm not afraid of it, because I put out a publicly available document and I redacted the name that was in it. But I did go out of my way to make sure I was very careful about what I put out, and reading everything and making sure there was nothing in there like doxing or anything like that. So it does, I went out of my way so that she could not sue me, hopefully, or do anything to me. And that will be a fear that people will have. But again, if it's not true and it is full of lies, then a judge is not going to agree to look at it anyway. I don't think it's a cop-out. I think it's a legitimate fear, because, no offense, it is my opinion that sometimes Julie is unhinged. But I don't, like I said, I don't think it's a cop-out. I think it's a legitimate fear. But if you're just very careful and don't put out, things that you're not supposed to put out, or say things that are threatening, harassing, or, legitimately concerning, then you don't have to worry about it.
That's true. And let me clarify again. When I'm saying exaggerating, I'm not saying like, oh, she's exaggerating the truth. This is the truth, right? Julie, you have to look at who Julie is as a person. She is very on edge all the time. She's very sensitive. So what to you and me may seem, I mean, it's like telling somebody, well, you don't have a right to be afraid. Well, people said that to me throughout my whole PFA. Well, you're not afraid. You're not afraid. Well, first off, you don't know what I've experienced in life and what type of hearing those type of threats and conversations and seeing somebody literally stating in private communication that they have the means and the ability to drive to my area and rip my head off my neck because I give them homicidal rage, right? Now, somebody who's lived through physical domestic violence, that brought up all those emotions. It was terrifying. So I'm not saying Julie's lying. I'm saying Julie, who she is as a person, we can't say if in her mind these things didn't happen or if they did, when we can all acknowledge they did, but not to that extent. Well, what do you mean not to that extent? Either it happened or it didn't.
Right.
What I'm saying is we can't take how Julie perceived those things to mean to her. That's what I'm saying by what we may call exaggerate, like she's exaggerating it. I don't mean like exaggeration in fact of like, oh, well, it's a lie. And I mean like to her, it is bigger than it would be to you or I. Just like it was bigger to Brittany when somebody came in her chat and lied that somebody wrote in my chat that we're going to, board down her house and light it on fire. And Brittany made it this whole big ordeal despite it never happening.
Right.
And that's exactly what I've been saying too. And I've been saying it for a while. You cannot tell somebody what they should be afraid of or what they should feel or how they should feel. You can't do that. You just can't. I've been saying this for so long. When people say, oh, well, even with the anti-Semitic stuff, it's the same thing. Someone that's truly Jewish, and I say it like that because me and Granny both admit we're not, but someone that is, if one of my cousins who is very into our religion heard anti-Semitic comments, he would lose his fucking mind. I wouldn't be surprised if he took someone to court over it. Like you just don't know how someone else is going to react. And you can't say that someone else is wrong because you don't agree.
because that's who Brittany is. She's an exaggerant, drama seeking, attention seeking piece of shit. And guess what? Many can say the same for Julie. So at the end of the day, why do we give a fuck what either of them do in the courtroom?
Yeah, again, my only concern would be doing it to other people. But again, I mean, like it's been stated, if she can't do it, if she doesn't have the evidence or the proof to do that. So
right, or the reason to.
Right.
I think a lot of people have a problem with the fact that it absolutely that she uses her son in it. And again, that's the same thing Brittany does.
Yep.
I get it. I truly get it. That's why very early on when Julie came around here, she is an advocate for autism. She has had laws passed for autism. She's written books on it. And when she came here and she had all those videos, many people told her, Julie, you're entering a community where those type of things will be used against you later, right? She didn't heed the warning. She kept doing what she was doing, whatever. She can't expect others to keep to a moral standing, you know, when they simply don't want to. And that's what's happening when they played that video. They don't give a fuck that it's somebody's kid. They don't give a fuck that they went to social media to do it. What blows my mind, though, is people that I respect and that I thought better of excusing or justifying that, well, the video's public. Well, I hope you don't have any public videos of your children anywhere because I guess according to some, that makes it fair game. I don't get it.
See, I'm on the other side of that because while it would upset me if somebody found videos of my children that were public, I would be the one at fault and I would apologize profusely to my children.
Going back to old DC rules, I'm going to say this again. Just because I put up a video of my kid on Facebook doesn't give you the right to bring it to YouTube and blast it all over the place. Just because my kid is on TikTok doesn't give you the right to pass it around a drama community. So no, it's not your fault. Now I heard Julie say today, Julie said, you know, that she's 55 and she's not into the technology and doesn't know any better, blah, blah, blah. No, that no wasn't for you. I completely agree with the old DC rules, and that is just because I post my kids doesn't mean you go around and post my kids. You have no right to fucking do that. There was a time they found out Sage had a TikTok, so a bunch of people went from the DC went on Sage's TikTok. Why do you care what my 15-year-old does on TikTok? It's none of your fucking business. So I don't know why they did it, but Sage was like, fuck it, more views for me. It's just weird.
For being the reason that they got brought up or talked about, but it would be my fault because I'm the one who chooses to live stream and talk about things and be in and out of a community that does things like that. So I would blame myself for that. But like I said, I'm different.
Now, one of them, Jill, is a big Randy supporter, but from the whole DC. But to be fair, what are they going to do? So you wanted to see Sage's TikTok? Okay. Not really sure why, but okay. Like, they weren't going to do anything with it. They weren't like, you know, they weren't sending it to like a porn site or something, you know, they just wanted to see her TikTok. It was weird to me. What's up?
The thing is that it's people, I don't know. The thing is they knew what Julie's weakness was, okay? That was going to be bringing her kids to the platform. And she had been very clear on that child did not want to be brought to YouTube. And it is the malicious intent of going in and seeking that video out, knowing that her son did not want to be on YouTube or the platform, and then giving it to BJ. I mean, it was done by a shit person. It was done by War Damn Eagle. And then, you know, BJ, of course, played it. But you have to look at the intent behind it and why it was done. And just like, and it's ridiculous, this whole thing of like like you were talking about, I was going to say that. What happened to the don't take things off the platform type deal and bring them to YouTube? That would mean that anyone that wants to talk on YouTube, be it a chatter or be it a creator, can never post anything remote with their family or any videos of their children on their private social media accounts out of fear of someone maybe bringing it to YouTube and weaponizing it against them if they disagree with them.
But my thing is, why would, and because I didn't see those videos, but why would Brittany want to bring the, like, Julie wrote books about it. Like, that's Julie's thing. Why would Brittany want to show this on a live? Like, what was her point in it?
Her point was because Julie had said that he did not want to be on the platform. And you have people, remember, Julie was originally wanting to be aligned with the Green Team and Tony. And they had an approved list of creators that Julie at that time, and those creators were the channels that basically were, the green light by Tony Mathis to put out their message. Okay. And Julie, I think, was upset that back during that time when she was seeing things, I guess, a little differently, she was not included on that list. Okay. But one of the things that was always done is they would always, if you were talking about Sebastian, they were always monitoring people that they were, whether you were on their side, so to speak, or not, and what you were saying. It was all being recorded. I don't know where they find this many people with that much time, but it was all being recorded. And so I think they particularly paid attention to the things that were triggers for Julie and then weaponized it against her.
Okay.
And, that's why Brittany brought it to her platform, because of the thing with her, like her and Julie. And I mean, one thing people don't understand is Julie, I think, if I remember correctly, one thing you have to give Julie like credit for is she will just keep digging and digging and digging. And she's very persistent. And she will double down and triple down if on her beliefs and what she thinks is right at the time or wrong or whatever, and what she's doing. And, it's something that is just, she was looking at Brittany for some of the anti-Semitic comments that were being made about like Jews and some of the racial comments that were being made. And, Brittany knowingly gave Craig like a platform, knowing that he's a drunk, knowing he can't control his mouth, knowing he's violent, knowing he has makes threats. And she allowed him to utilize her platform in order to communicate those threats. I mean, there is freedom of speech, but there isn't freedom of consequences.
Yeah.
And, whether you or I would think this is worthy of getting a protection order, I would say, regardless of whether Craig is known to drive or leave his house or not, Craig is unpredictable. And the last thing I would want to do if I genuinely was in fear of someone is, try to predict an unpredictable person. You can't. And I mean, I think it's Julie's personal choice what she wanted to do, and I think unless it's happening to you and you're in that situation, you know, I just don't think that these streams on and on and on and on and on about it, I don't know what they're really solving, you know.
Well, because nonsense has no
There could be so much more, so much, I don't know. I feel like that this could be used in such a much more productive manner. And one thing too, like with this whole Arctic Fox situation, just to kind of tie it in, people didn't know what he was like online. You know, he had an online persona, and he clearly had an offline persona. One thing is, if this is what Craig shows me online, I can only imagine what he's like offline. And I say that with Arctic Fox because of a very weird thing that I brought up in Granny's Live, where Craig had mentioned meeting a young boy on a gaming platform, befriending him, and quote unquote mentoring him and communicating to him through a Discord for years and years, which I thought, wow, this is really fucking weird. And, you know, I think Craig says a lot of fucking weird shit and scary shit, threatening shit. And I don't know, I mean, I just don't think that, I don't know why everyone is so, feels like this is the cause that they need to just it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they can't see it. I think it's because they cannot stand Julie. And I've told this to Julie. I clearly do not agree with anything that she's done in the past with the parodies of Katie and Chris. I think that she should apologize to Katie and Chris for the videos that she's made. I think a lot of people still hold a lot of anger and resentment on behalf of Katie and Chris for Julie's actions. And then same thing with SF. She went after his license. I'm really good friends with SF. I thought it was fucked up. And she's removed the videos, but you can't undo the harm and stuff that it could have caused at the time. I think that had she done this now, okay, but apologized for the stuff that she had done in regards to Sebastian's case before all of this happened, I think that we wouldn't see days and days of fucking streams about this. I think it would be very different.
I agree.
I just feel like it's because people tend to, you know, she is one that kind of is an easy kind of target for both sides because she was never truly accepted or forgiven for some of the stuff she's done because she hasn't ever apologized for it to Katie and Chris. And I wish she could at least do that, but that's something that I've told her before, and she'll have to make a decision on that on her own. That's on her, but I think that it would be very different if that had happened and this was coming up now, because I do remember hearing these streams when Craig was in the background saying this stuff, and I do remember people realizing at the time while we were listening to the streams that these were threats towards Julie. It was never in question. Some of the stuff that he was saying was directed at Julie. And I don't know why we are now acting like that never happened. And, it's up for interpretation as to who the threats were really made against.
I agree. All right, let's go back.
All right.
Different.
But do you also think that, like, given that it was on Facebook, you don't think that makes it any different? Like, are you okay with people taking your YouTube to your Facebook world? Now, years ago, I had to private my Facebook because I learned the hard way. I remember having to sit up until about 3, 4 a.m. the night of my grandmom, 2 nights before my grandmom's service, so I can get all the photos of my kids with my grandmom and hurry up and shut down my social media again because people suck. Right. I remember having to tell my daughter because at 15 years old, they found her TikTok and they were passing it around and blah, 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 and requesting her and all this other weird shit that she can't have it. You have to lock it down. Do you think that's fair?
No, but it's a choice that we make as parents to come live. And I don't think it's fair to go and pull shit off of somebody's Facebook, but that's what the internet does. And you just have to know that and try to be careful. It's not fair and it's not justified and it shouldn't be done. But I mean, but like I said, I'm different. I would hope nobody would do that. And I would hope that people would have the moral authority to not do things like that. But at the end of the day, they don't, and they don't care and they don't give a shit. So
I disagree that and she didn't go after War Eagle because she wouldn't have gotten the attention from the community. I disagree because what she went after Brittany for was, again, an accumulation of things. It wasn't just one thing, it was accumulation of things. And that was just one of the many things added into the accumulation because at that point, the only reason for Brittany to even show, call it a video, call it a photo, call it what you will. Why did Brittany pull it up on her screen? What was the purpose of it? What was the conversation of it? What was the intent of it?
yeah, on Christmas Day.
Right. Why do that?
Right.
To alarm, to harass, to intimidate, to, bother somebody. And it did accordingly. And guess what? Now Brittany has to answer for it.
And I think she should. I don't think that anybody should stand up for her, but at the same time, I don't think that's necessarily what they're doing. I think they're just trying to show that these things could be exaggerated or not true. But like I said, now that I've had this conversation with you and you pointed it out, I can see how they are true. And it is not my place to judge how Julie perceives things. Nobody can understand how somebody perceives things.
That's true. No, you really can't. Who said, why didn't you go for a person? I put it out, not even a strike to their channel. It's really hard to get community posts taken down, for starters. I don't know, Midnight, you'd have to ask Julie. I'm not Julie. I'm telling you all that it wasn't just one item. It was a accumulation of things. Again, I don't agree with Julie taking this avenue. I can't make that any clearer. But I also disagree with people stating that is full of lies because it simply isn't. And that's the other thing. Julie's channel was originally an autism awareness channel. Again, she should have changed it when she got slinging in the mud the way she did. She didn't. That's something she has to accept and answer for, and I'm sure she is. But it still doesn't give anybody, especially Brittany, who constantly cries that people are going after her family, who has literally contacted people's family members, to then pull up this image of this child and analyze it in any format. Blurred or not, there's no reason to do it other than to stress Julie out.
I agree. That's her MO. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. The whole thing sucks. I agree that happening, but I also agree the only reason editor is because people like Brittany initiated lawfare. Brittany, this type of actions. And now that Brittany's facing this type of action, we're going to berate Julie for hours on end and say Julie's so wrong for doing it and give excuses to, why that wasn't a threat or Craig could have meant this or why even go that far though? Why even do all of that? That's my whole thing with it. I don't know. I mean, people are going to do what people do, and I get it. And I get why people dislike Julie. Obviously, for me, it's a little more personal because Brittany literally flipped my whole world upside down, and it continues to be over.
Thank you, Lacey.
Actual lawfare. So I personally find it insulting when this is called lawfare, but I can't stop people
I'm catching up to Queen Bee.
People, if people are gonna label it lawfare, well, no better person to fucking happen to then, right?
Right.
Than the other person that initiated it herself.
Yeah, and I lost my train of thought. I don't think, again, I just want to stress that I don't think people are trying to take up for BJ or protect her. I think everybody's just, like, this shouldn't be done at all by anybody. And people just, with Julie doing it and it seeming like, sorry, my children's thing went off. With Julie doing it and it seeming like, that it was full of lies as I thought it was in the beginning. It makes it different. I don't think anybody should be using the course.
Yeah, because she listens to nonsense. All of her information is from nonsense.
Here's the thing.
On YouTube channels at all. But Brittany started that and she does need to be held accountable for that. But
all right. Sorry about that.
Here's one thing that I think about is, so when Julie's going after the RO against Craig, we know Queen is going after an RO against Center.
No, she's not. That's bullshit.
Well, that's what she said, right? That's what the community's perception is. Okay. Is that she's trying to get an RO against Center. Why are the same people okay with Queen Bee getting an order of protection, but not Julie?
Because it's Queen Bee. That's why. Because
they need to ask themselves that, because I haven't heard
everything she's trying to get an RO for is bullshit.
Well, I haven't heard the same level of threats from Center that I've heard from Craig towards Julie. But that's just something that, I try to not be biased. I mean, everyone I think is inherently a little bit biased in some things, but like I try to look at things objectively and call it like I fucking see it. And that's one thing that I keep going back to is, if you support Queen in getting the RO against Center, then why, then you should have keep that same fucking energy with Julie.
You mean, yeah, I agree. But nonsense is scared of Queen Bee. So she'll never go against Queen Bee. And I don't think she thought that Granny would actually go against her. But Granny's like, and I understand it. But like I said earlier, Granny's probably thinking, nonsense. How are you my friend when you're fucking giving BJ advice? Like, who gives a fuck why Julie's doing it? Brittany deserves a taste of her own medicine after the thousands that I've had to spend. And she's right.
I thought I've noticed it's put like, and I'm just saying this, I've go into Nonsense's lives. I've watched a lot of her stuff when she was doing Sebastian and stuff. It's weird because she was on this huge, Chroma Reels Crimit thing and gonna go back and retrace the history of reality wins or what, and then all of a sudden everything fucking stopped. And then it's just 24/7 coverage of Julie. And
because Brittany, not Brittany, Nonsense thinks she knows everything. She is the end all be all to everything. I don't know how anyone listens to her. I'm sorry. I just don't. She's pure hate. She's pure, I know this and I know that. Bitch, you don't know shit. She doesn't know anything about anti-Semitism. Nothing. She's not Jewish. Like I said in Julie's chat, here's the context. Hold on. Here's the context. You ever see these white people that try to show how a black person feels? You cannot tell me. I could never tell you how a black person feels. I just can't. I can empathize, but I'm not black. I don't know what they go through. I don't know what it's like to drive down the road and have a cop behind me and be scared that he's going to fucking shoot me. I don't know what that feels like. I can't explain it because I'm not black. I don't know. Someone that's not Jewish or even lives in a lot of hate crime area, such as New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. If you don't live there and you're not anywhere near there, then you can't possibly understand what Julie feels, being that Julie's father was a rabbi and there's nonsense can't possibly fucking understand it. But she tries to explain it that she knows she doesn't. And it's so frustrating that she's spewing this to other people when other people who aren't Jewish or don't have a father that's a rabbi and grew up around it and had to deal with the hate growing up, especially 20, 30, 40 years ago when Julie was growing up. You can't possibly know what it's like unless you lived it. So
Right.
now I'm sitting there trying to fucking explain how she's wrong and no, you don't live it. You don't know.
And this is where I can't stand group mentality and group think, because, you know, I've seen it happen so many times. Like, for example, whenever I go up in certain creators' chats, you know, all it takes sometimes, or panels, all it takes sometimes is one or two trolls to make a fucking comment attacking you. And the next thing you know is the whole chat's turned against you. Or one slight, you should never, if you agree with somebody 100% of, you should never agree with something.
I agree.
Someone says 100% of the time. I'm never going to do that with any of the creators I support. And that's what I think is scary, is that we have a lot of subs that are afraid to go against
absolutely
the grain when it comes to speaking out and saying, I don't support this, or I disagree with you on this, or trying to get it from a different perspective. And that's one thing that Nonsense is good at, presenting her own perspective. But I think the downside to that is you don't get to see the other side of the coin. There's no ability like there is, like you see Granny and allegedly speculating Jules on panel being able to give perspective to another.
Yeah, but she can't give perspective on something she doesn't know. Again, I can't give perspective on what a black person feels driving down the road. I can give an opinion and think that I know, but the reality is I don't know. And I would be an ignorant fool to try to think that I could explain it, or that I could, that I know what they feel. That would be totally ignorant. And that's what Nonsense is doing. And that's what Granny's saying. That's what I'm saying. We all grew up in Jewish homes on the East Coast. But Julie, one step more, her father was a rabbi, which she sees it tenfold and much more serious than we do. So the fact that she's even formulating how Julie should feel, and Julie this and Julie that, when she's wrong. And she will never see that, no matter how many people tell her. She won't admit it, and she'll just keep going on and how Julie's wrong. No, sorry.
Well,
she's not wrong.
She has admitted, what I've seen her admit is, I've seen her say that she is biased because Julie had threatened legal action against her along, way back when or whatever. But I wish that she was open to having a public discussion and dialogue about this, and not just kind of almost, I don't want to say like force feeding her opinion, because I mean, people in her chat are willingly there, obviously, but it's just, it would be good to have, I don't know. I feel like this is just something that she's driving the opinions of chatters that have never been in this have never been in that situation like you're talking about. They didn't grow up Jewish. I didn't grow up Jewish. I can't give any perspective on it. She can't either because she's not Jewish. So it's just like, I just don't see how it's just, I don't know. It's sad. I just wish that it was different.
But Tara Boone brings up a good point. Okay, they're both liars. They both manipulate, both use the courts. Okay, cool. Let's move on. I get it.
Yeah. I don't know why the need to keep going on and on and on. This is,
but that's what
they're going to decide at the end of the day. It's not if you don't like it, then freaking go work like Julie did, I guess, and get a law changed in New Jersey.
But Julie said it today, and she's right. Now she's got to deal with nonsense talking about it again for another fucking week. She wasn't even upset that Craig pushed it off. She's just worried now she's got to deal with nonsense for another fucking week. I don't blame her.
I mean, I know what it feels like to be, targeted as well in terms of like having streams held about you and stuff, and how I can only imagine, like, I'm not even a creator, so I feel like I don't even have a platform to really go defend myself, but it's just too much. And I feel like if this was anybody else other than Julie that was like, we wouldn't be having this clap back.
See, hold on. So Tara made a point that nonsense and Granny are being pinned against each other. And I don't see that. I'm with Lacey. Granny sees what it is. I don't think they're being pinned against each other at all. I think nonsense is clapping at Granny because Granny is throwing digs at her, rightfully so. I'm 100% with Granny on this. And it's not because I don't like nonsense, but nonsense is talking about stuff that she knows nothing about. She thinks that she can tell how Julie feels. No, you can't. You don't know how Julie feels.
Or until or how, like, even just taking away the anti-Semitic comments, just the other threatening comments that he's made.
Well, according to Julie, they can't push it off anymore, that the judge said this was it. I guess this was the second time that Craig tried to push it off. And according to Julie, the judge said no more. That this is it. But Craig's supposed to show up there in person. So if Craig was like sitting there at home last night, he definitely wasn't showing up.
Yeah, because I think BJ's is the virtual one or something.
Yeah, BJ's is virtual, but Craig has to go there personally.
Which is something that's weird to me as to, why the judge is. I'm curious as to why the judge is making him go there in person.
I think because it's an RO and maybe wants to see him, or I don't know. I always thought that he was going to have to show in person because they were going to lock him up. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It will be interesting to see, like.
Why
you look so sad?
That's it.
I don't think anybody's trying to take up for her either. I think it was just, it has to be done correctly and, on good grounds. That makes sense.
I agree with that, but I also I will disagree with. I know nobody's trying to help Brittany, but it has to be acknowledged that it is helping Brittany.
Get the order on.
It may not be,
Yeah.
it may not be the goal, but it certainly is because Brittany didn't have these videos. Brittany's not going to sit down and put them all together and create a timeline. Brittany's not going to study a defense or go in prepared.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I would disagree with you, Regina, because you're just looking at it like, oh, Brittany played a public video, no big deal. That's not the context. The context is harassment. Brittany played the video with the intent to harass. That's why I keep stressing that part. It's not as simple as just looking at, oh, well, it's a public video, it's fair game. No. Why would this woman feel the need to go to any other platform, take any other imagery of anybody else's family members, put it on YouTube, and then do a discussion about it?
Right.
That's what
And
the courts are going to see.
Yeah, and that's what she does over and over and over again, and has for years.
Right. She didn't play anything. It was a post of multiple things, but she put it on the screen and discussed it, correct?
Hear me out on something.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
why even offer that excuse to her? Because you know she certainly pulled it up. And I'm sorry, with utmost respect, I believe, and I full-heartedly believe, if it was my child, if it was Nonsense's child, if it was Chloe and Cletus's child, if it was Queen's child, if it was Kathy P's children, if it was allegedly children, people would feel differently about it. But because it's Julie's and people dislike her, they don't feel how they feel.
You should just let me stay home so I can go do that and make $200.
That's just my personal opinion on it. I could be wrong,
Swear, you
you know, obviously.
Confirm that. Tell them I'll be there at 10.
But it does seem that way. And that's why I often say we can't be outraged when it happens we can't celebrate it being done to somebody we dislike and then be outraged when it happens to somebody we do, because that often happens.
But again,
And
I
guess
think
what? Midnight, Brittany's not being sued either. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah. And I think it again goes to, if it's wrong for one person to do it, it's wrong across the board on the side of people pointing out what Julie's doing. Like, we can't say this is wrong on this front, but this is not wrong. If you're comparing like what happened to you and what happened to Julie, even though they're two totally different, separate things, I think it's a lot of people trying to say, you know, if it's wrong for them to do it to Granny, it's wrong for Julie to do it to BJ, because
Right. And that's an unfair statement, because what Brittany did to me is not even in the same wheelhouse as what Julie's having. It's not even remotely close. And the two they're not even on the same level. I actually have an image to depict it. I'll upload that. But I slightly understand what you're saying, but I also respectfully do not at all, because they're two completely remotely, unbelievably different things that are being spoken about. One is a lawsuit that includes 10 other people, including a fucking celebrity on the back of a national missing child, that's accusing me not of one, not of two, but of 45 criminal counts, none of which are petty.
Right.
And has gone on for over 2 years now, with appeals and contempt hearings and them going to the DA to have us arrested and police reports and all the other things in between, with zero basis and all made up nonsensical bullshit. What's happening with Julie did take place, whether we agree with it or not. The courts found somewhat of merit for it to be given a docket and a court hearing, and they're going to hear it out.
Yeah.
One can be filed with nothing. One can be filed with, it's apples to oranges. It's completely different. And that's why I say I personally don't see it as lawfare. I get that others do, and I get the sentiments behind it. But when you have people that supported Brittany taking Chloe and Cletus for ROs because they dislike Chloe and Cletus, they're the same people saying Julie's wrong. What do you mean?
Yeah, I thought that what they did to Chloe was wrong. In fact, I thought it was so wrong that when I was still in North Carolina before we moved, I was going to try to go to court and be there to support Chloe, because I thought that was so wrong.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And that was all based off fallacies too. But, people feel how they feel. They feel strongly about it. Sure, I get it. I just think it's really easy to say, hey, I disagree with what Julie's doing. And, that be that. But instead, it just seems like a lot of excuses and justifications are being given to why Craig and Brittany are not wrong and Julie won't be successful. And listen, I don't know if she will be or not. I have no idea. I'm not the judge. I have no idea.
All right. Well,
total flop, or it could go through. I don't fucking know, but we'll see.
Yep. I'm going to jump down so I can I got to make smoothies with my little one. But I'll be in chat. Thank you. I'll be in chat.
All right. We'll see you in the chat.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right. this not only that, but the emotional burden, the financial burden, Brittany's going to have to pay for one appearance. I mean, there's zero comparison. I think that's what aggravates me more than anything is the constant comparison. There's zero comparison. But I do really appreciate her coming up, truly, because having a conversation like that is always nice. Here's because I was going to make this a thumbnail, and I said, well, I'm not making my whole stream about this. This is the comparison here, people. I mean, we're comparing literally a droplet to a whole pond. There's no comparison. I'm not supporting her in it. And people are getting so angry because I'm not vilifying her for it either. And I think I see people saying like, well, I'm allowed to have my opinion. Sure, you are. But why can't I? Why can't I have my opinion? Fairness, Julie may have gone to YouTube Legal on what her complaint with BJ says and got no help. Yeah, I don't know. I do know that you can also hire lawyers, according to Brittany, to have channels removed.
See, but that's the thing. Nobody seems to understand why Nonsense keeps talking about it. Like, let it be. Let it happen. It is what it is. Granny doesn't understand. None of us understand. Subs don't understand. Like, Julie certainly doesn't understand. Why keep discussing it? Just fucking let it go. Whatever's going to be is going to be, and let it go.
Yeah.
People don't get
I mean, the thing is too, like they're definitely not the same, like at all. I don't even know how people are making that comparison. Julie's going after something because of actual threats that were made. BJ is going after Granny and accusing her of shit because of fucking like it was free and it was her way to get back at Granny. And like it was based off of their her dislike for Granny, not actual threats or feeling like she was in danger of any sort. Or I mean, it was just
No, what Tara's saying, and I understand because I said it earlier, is that Julie had said to her husband, now we have to deal with fucking Nonsense for another week. And why does this have to be for another week? Thanks to the courts changing it again, now I got to deal with Nonsense for another week. And Nonsense is going to talk about it every day. That's what Tara was saying. And I don't blame Julie. I don't know why Nonsense keeps talking about it and giving Brittany advice on what to do. Like, why don't you talk about Queen Bee against Sinner? Why don't you talk about there's other cases? Talk about Arctic Fox. There's a million things she could fucking talk about. Why is she fixated on helping BJ? That's what I don't get.
I don't know. I can't hear you, but if you want to drop the link, then I'm gonna drop, and then you can drop the link if you want me to. I'll come back up.
All right. But I don't get it. I don't know what, but she's on a crusade for what purpose though? Why? What is her fixation with Julie? And again, like Granny said, you don't have to like Julie. You could still think Julie's crazy, but But I'm sorry. If you're Granny's friend, then shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Let BJ and Craig get their fucking karma.
Yeah, I think there's just so much other stuff to talk about, especially with like you were saying before, Arctic Fox. That's something that's even close to Nonsense because Arctic Fox was one of Dutch. Her mod was a mod for one of her mods. I just don't know why the need to have these streams for days on end at this point. But
yeah, like again, Nonsense could never understand what Julie feels. Forget the threats. Maybe the DA is a Jew and didn't like the anti-Semitic comments. We don't know. We just don't. But it got passed and it went to court. Nobody should be arguing it. Just whatever's going to happen, happens. Let it go.
yeah.
Public perception. The claim is not helping BJ. I don't agree with. Public perception is what matters to BJ. We see it with Jones and her. Anything slightly positive, BJ is glowing. Then anything remotely negative. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the world ends when she's not friends with Jones and Soup. I agree with that.
Was she ever friends with Soup?
Yeah, Denise, that's an excellent point. You can't fangirl to be and then act like you have morals.
I've never really seen her like fangirl Queen Bee.
Oh my God.
I've never really seen that. Like, I guess because the streams that I watch really from Nonsense, I have, were related to Sebastian or, something else. Like, I do remember when Queen went up on her panel and completely derailed when she was addressing the Cromwell's Cramit thing. And nobody call that out and be like, why?
Most recently, Nonsense had been like pretty specific in her views. Like she felt this way and she didn't care if anybody agrees with her. This is how she felt. This is how she sees it. And it was wrong. And people are going to disagree with her. And Clue came on panel. And then Queen Bee came on panel. And the Bee was like, well, I thought the whole thing was fucking hysterical. I thought it was funny as hell. And all of a sudden, Nonsense just totally backtracked, totally backed down. Well, I can't believe you knew. Like, it was so pathetic. That's what people are talking about. And that was just most recent. But
well, that was obvious. That was so fucking obvious because she came up, Queen, when she came up during that live of Nonsense, she came up fucking attacking me first. And then she nobody called her out on it. But I paid attention. And she said several things that contradicted herself on that. And nobody fucking, either nobody caught it or they caught it and they just aren't going to talk about it.
Hold on. Jill brings up a good point. What is the history of Julie and Nonsense that Nonsense has such a hard on for her?
Julie had made some, if Island's still in here, she would know. Nonsense has touched up on it, but I'd left a lot of the streams about Julie because I can only listen to so much. But Julie had said something about, I think she had said something about taking her to court. I'm not sure what it was over again, but someone else may remember. I just remembered that Julie had threatened to take her to court at one time.
I know.
It was over.
Why?
That's what I can't remember. And that's what I was hoping Island High was here for. Because I'm like, I think I may know, but I don't want to say and be wrong. So I'm just going to say I don't know.
When?
This was like a while ago.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago, maybe.
And she's had a hard on ever since?
Well, she's never really liked Julie because of like what I was saying with the parodies of Katie and Chris and not apologizing. Julie's had opportunities to apologize where she's been on panels with Chris and Katie's been there where she could have apologized for that. And also, so that's a big thing that people, like I said, still have a, hold against Julie. And the SF thing that she did as well.
All right, hold on. Nonsense reviewed Julie, and Julie did not understand the YouTube policy on reviewing, and Julie stated she will check with her publisher. Publisher stated that YouTube you can review, and that was it.
Yeah, I do know. I would know because I thought it had something to do with reviews and publishers and the book and all that stuff. And yeah,
not only is she fixated, it's her whole attitude when she talks about it, in my opinion, because she has this holier than now, like she'll be reviewing BJ and get like, I can't stand this, so don't fucking watch it. Like, that's why I don't understand how anyone watches her. Like, if I'm watching someone review someone, make it exciting. Like, I don't want to hear how you're so like, oh my God, this is so horrible. Then don't review it. It's like somebody's forcing her to review shit. And then she hooked up with Clue. Clue got her some numbers, and now she's more holier than now than I've ever seen. Yeah,
well, she and Clue, people may not remember this, but when Clue got close, like, okay, so Clue used to be in Nonsense's chats early on in the Sebastian case, and I only remember this because of how many damn lives I've watched related to Sebastian on Nonsense's, but Clue used to be in the chats of Nonsense's. Nonsense and Clue were cool. Then Nonsense and Clue went their own separate ways based on the relationship that Nonsense didn't agree with related to like the Sebastian case and Clue becoming friends and getting close to Katie and Chris. And so she didn't like Clue for a while. And then it became they started kind of, I think, interacting more around the Rico, and when that kind of brought everyone, I guess, closer together, maybe in terms of chats forming. And when I started to notice Nonsense and Clue becoming more friendly, I guess you could say, is probably around the time they were doing when Trisha came onto the scene, and that would be last year around this time.
Okay.
And she was reviewing DJ.
Sammy, you're insane if you don't think Clue got Nonsense numbers. If I became friends with Queen Bee, which will never happen, but if I became friends with Queen Bee and Trisha and Nonsense, I would go back to old numbers. I would have 400, 500, 600 in here.
I'm going to effectively say, Sammy, I usually agree with you, but when they started doing the redirects, which Trisha is the one that started with the redirect, nobody knew what the redirect feature was on YouTube on that side of the quote unquote streets. So when you would have them redirecting over to Clues and take Clues chat of almost 2,000 people and redirect it to Nonsense, people that weren't even aware of Nonsense's existence all of a sudden became exposed to Nonsense because, they would be listening at work and then go into the next stream. So it's in that way, yes, Clue did expand Nonsense's audience, same way when Hillbilly Belinda came on the scene and they would redirect to her and that would drop people in her chat.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not a dig at Nonsense to say that Clue brought her numbers. That's not a dig at Nonsense to say that. Correct, Sammy. She would have it depends on what she was covering, but
Nonsense would never have 500. She would have
before that redirect. She never had the numbers that she had before.
No.
Like
Definitely not.
now, the numbers now she didn't have before, because it broadened her audience. You had Queen Bee's people going over, you know, because of like you mixed in all these creators that may have not intersected, you know, their chats may have not listened to the other creators.
I mean, I understand people like you have to understand nonsense started by all she was doing was correcting stuff in the Sebastian Rogers case that Britney was getting wrong. That's what she was doing, and she was fine. And I even listened to her at times. But then she got hooked up with the Bee, and everyone started talking about Britney, and all of it went to her head. And she just went off the fucking deep end. And now I think she's worse than ever.
I mean, I think that nonsense has a gift. I love this stuff. I think, like, I mean, to be honest, there's only so much time, like, so many times you can hear people review the same, like, content of BJ's, to be honest.
Well, see, that's the thing, too. Someone said it today, and I couldn't agree more, but I don't remember who said it. Oh, it was actually Sinner. There is no fucking content with BJ anymore. All she does is sit there and say hi to people, talk about nothing. Like, that's why I haven't reviewed her. There's nothing to review.
When she was lying about the, you know, the drug test and things like that, there was obviously shit to call out. But, I mean, other than the things her drunkard boyfriend or whatever says, they're not doing anything over there. They're literally just eating eating and making chewing sounds and listening to reality fucking be creepy and shit. And then at Craig in the background saying, "Do you not remember weeing in your diapers when you were a kid?"
I know. Hold on. And there's no content. The biggest content was she's feeding her kid at 2:00 in the morning. She's making him fucking noodles. Like, dude, are you serious? But that's not content. I mean, that's all she fucking does.
I agree with what Lacey Ann said too. Like, and this is why I just wish Julie would listen to my advice on the stuff that I've told her. But Julie is I've told her this too. Julie, I think, knows that she's very stuck in her ways. She has to do things on her own time and everything. But she doesn't want to take the content down because she doesn't want to seem to like hide her past. But I know she's done some streams where she said she, you know, talked about the vile content that she made before, that people, you know, still, you know, realize that she hasn't apologized to Katie and Chris for. And I advised her to put it together, like, not to where they have to go to 20 different streams, and told her people don't really read community posts that much. So, I mean, put it together in a fucking short and release it, where, you know, or just release a video apologizing for this stuff. You don't even have to talk to Chris and Katie, you know.
If nonsense is so fucked up in the head that she can't just blow it off, are you fucking kidding me? She's an adult. Like, okay, why does Julie have to apologize? Just fucking blow it off. Don't worry about it. I don't see why she has to apologize because she did some, you know, she fucked up.
Hold on. Are you talking about Julie?
Know how yeah.
Huh? Did you see? Okay, this is where
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Julie and the Katie and Chris stuff that she's done in the past, and the SF stuff that people who are, you know, came into the side of
Chris and Katie don't give a fuck.
Yes, it still matters. Yes, and they do give a fuck, because otherwise Julie, I mean, Julie is done some pretty vile. She did some vile stuff in the past to them.
So have a lot of people.
Right, but the difference is like, can you apologize for it and own that you fucked up and move? And that's where people cannot seem to let go of what she's done in the past, is because they haven't seen her truly show remorse in to Katie and Chris.
Chris and Katie have nothing to do with nonsense. Nonsense doesn't know Chris and Katie.
Correct, but at the same time,
with them, she's not part of the family. So why would Julie apologize for that?
Wait, it's not about apologizing to Chris and Katie for anyone else's, here's the thing, it's still going to be held against you. One of the things of people allowing, it was mentioned before that someone said, I've seen a lot of growth in you and Granny in the last 2 years. How do you show growth? By acknowledging you made mistakes in the past, apologizing for those mistakes, owning them, and moving forward. However, Julie has skipped the part of apologizing for the mistakes that she made to the people that she made the mistakes to. That's where people have an issue.
But how did they know that she didn't apologize to Chris behind the scenes?
Because she said she said she hasn't. I mean, and she hasn't. I mean, Chris has asked her to talk off of, even off of YouTube. I mean, I've told her, he's not going to attack you. He's not like that. You don't even have to you could just even send a voice memo, and I could send it to him just saying, hey, I'm sorry. I did some fucked up stuff in the past, and I think her perspective is that she doesn't know guilt or innocence or whatever. The problem is it's not really her. It's not really about that. It's about the fact that, it's just, you got to own your mistakes, apologize for it, and move on. And people have an issue with that.
Okay, but maybe, and I don't know, because I don't know the situation. So don't jump me for this. One, you guys hit the thumbs up. I'm doing a little test to see what happens if I don't add it in the beginning. And yeah, if there's only 36 thumb ups, most of you are not clicking it. So go ahead and click the thumbs up. But don't jump on me for this, because I don't know the situation at all. I don't know what Julie said about him from the beginning. I have no idea. But Julie, if she doesn't want to apologize, why should she have to? And why is it anybody else's business? No, if Chris and Katie don't want to apologize, if
Chris don't
and
want to apologize, Chris and Katie have asked to talk to Julie off,
but if Chris and Katie don't care, if Chris and Katie,
they do.
Why? What did she do?
Laura, it was bad. I mean, it was probably up there with some of the most vile, offensive things that I've, it was bad. And it's the thing that people have an issue with, that in terms of here's the thing, is it's not about forcing someone to apologize. It's for me, I don't want to because a forced apology isn't an apology. Okay. That's not really,
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? However, if you're going to say that, acknowledge that what you did was wrong, and you're going to say that, and you truly mean it, and you're remorseful for doing it, I think the only one thing that maybe is preventing her from apologizing is pride.
Maybe she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. That
could be an issue.
at that time, that's how she felt.
Right. And
Yeah,
that,
I don't know what she
that's
did.
true. But if you have had a change in your feelings, then you can say, when I did this, you know, I felt this way. I no longer feel this way. And I can acknowledge that I shouldn't have done this.
What did she do to her, though? What did she do to them that was so horrendous?
You just have to watch some of the content. It's still up.
So how come if it's so horrendous, nobody can tell me one thing that was done?
It's
like
it was like there was some stuff with, you would just have to watch it. I mean, it was some parodies, and I mean the stuff with, like, okay, I'll just say the stuff with SF was a whole like training on how to report him for like report his license. She put up stuff that wasn't even true about SF, thinking it was SF, I think. And, you know, I mean, she did like a whole class on it, but she's done some pretty egregious parodies. And I think that where it becomes people, when you make it for public content, then that is open for the public to judge you based on that content that you make.
Correct.
You know, if they find that content is gross and vile and offensive to people that are already, especially that are already getting attacked, that are being followed everywhere they go, that are, you know, having neighbors literally tracking the comings and goings of, you know, how many times they've just everything like that. People are going to have opinions about it because for over 2 years now, if people don't think that Katie hasn't been put under the fucking microscope, and as well as Chris, I mean,
and they
everybody, the police, the TBI, the FBI, the public, etc. I mean, local media. Just, I mean, a lot has been done to them that people do not even realize. I mean, like their Chris's mother has gotten death threats on her phone, and unfortunately, with her occupation, her phone number is public, and you know, it's.
But that's not because of stuff Julie said.
Well, it's not, but I mean, not necessarily, but then adding and compounding to grieving, like there's nothing that is pointed to the fact that Katie and Chris did anything. So some of the skits that were done,
hold on, but there's nothing pointing away from the fact that they didn't.
Correct, but then here's the thing: there's no need to. Why would you go and attack? This is just, I'm just putting it out there. Why would you go and attack someone without any evidence that they did something to their child? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, why would you, when they're grieving, they've lost their child is missing right now. Like, how is that adding anything?
But I could play devil's advocate and say the exact same thing on the other side, that there's more evidence that they did something than they didn't do anything. There's more evidence to show that they're maybe hiding something more than they're not hiding anything. So I'm at the stance that I don't know if they did anything. I have my opinions. I don't think kids disappear into thin fucking air, but they did a lot of weird things that kind of point to, yeah, they know where he is. Would I make parodies about it? No, but I'm still entitled to an opinion. The whole thing is weird. The way they acted was weird. The way things went down, it's weird.
What part?
But I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna make parodies. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be like nonsense and put together timelines and connect all the dots of why I think they might be guilty. But at the same time, I'm not gonna do the opposite either. I'm not going to sit there and make all the reasons that they're not guilty because we don't know.
I'm not.
No.
What I'm saying is that's true, but I'm not saying that like. I think people are getting it a little confused as to like the whole apology thing. Okay, I don't have it. Whether you believe Katie and Chris like are guilty or not isn't relevant. I don't think to the apology thing. The apology thing for me related to like Julie is the fact that she is saying one like it's like saying I shouldn't have done this in the past with the parodies, right? But she cannot apologize to them, and I'm not even saying publicly, but she can't apologize for saying I shouldn't have done this and I was wrong. I'm not saying
I don't call me crazy because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I've heard Julie apologize for stuff that she did in the past. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn she did. I could have. I mean, am I the only one that's heard it? But I'm really pretty sure that I've heard her on panel, maybe on Queen Bee's panel, like apologize about certain stuff. I don't know about what, but I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Lacey, because I'm pretty sure I've heard her apologize. I just don't know specifically what she was apologizing for.
That's where I've told Julie, then put together like where, she said that she's apologized on streams and stuff that she's had. And I've told her, that's where I told her, then put it together in a shorter little clip and release it that way. So people can see that you've apologized. But I know that when Kate, like she has refused to talk to Katie and Chris privately, and I don't like and apologize when like it's been brought up, and that's something I'm not like that's just I'm just telling like me bringing this up is saying this is why I think people have an issue with Julie or inclined to not be open-minded when it comes to seeing it from a different perspective.
She has apologized for past mistakes on the case and that she will no longer talk about the case. These parents are not cleared. I agree. Are they demanding apologies from everybody that has certain feelings? Like,
no, people like Clue has even said, and she's even told Katie and Chris that it's not about for them. I'm not trying to speak on their behalf. I'm just saying, like, from what I've gathered, it's not about like thinking that they're guilty or innocent or innocent or questioning their involvement. It was about the things that were just kind of beyond the pale, I could say, in terms of the level of like ick factor that you got from some of the parodies and stuff that were done and some of the things that were said that I just don't think.
So where's all the apologies to Seth?
For what part? Like, I mean, the things I've called Seth out are the things that he's lied about. I mean, he had Tony come up and say that he still worked at like, was still at work and broke his glasses and breaking up a fight when that was not true.
Yeah, what about Elevated Truth? He was horrible to all the parents. So where's anyone demanding his apology?
I mean, I'm sure I'm pretty sure people have.
No. I don't remember hearing him apologize publicly. I don't remember hearing anyone apologize to Seth publicly.
What would you apologize to Seth? Like, I'm just curious. Like, what would you apologize for?
Seth has been accused. There's been parodies. There's vile screenshots.
What the parody of, like, which parody are you talking about?
I don't know. I just know there's been parodies.
There's Seth. I mean, Seth assembled a whole. Let's not forget that Seth also has done some things like with the whole Rico. I mean, Seth could have gotten a lot of this shit under control.
I just, bottom line, I don't feel, and again, I don't know what was done, but I just don't feel Julie owes Chris and Katie.
Well, that's probably
maybe, let me rephrase that. Maybe she might owe Chris and Katie an apology, but she doesn't owe YouTube an apology. She doesn't owe YouTube anything.
Correct. And the reason I'm thinking that people,
Seth and Katie are still suspects, and maybe Julie's waiting for them to get cleared before she apologizes. One of them could get arrested at any point, and then her apology would make her look like a fucking moron.
She's not apologize. It's not about apologizing, saying I think that you're innocent and didn't do this. It's more about.
But if Chris or Katie or Chris and Katie come back and get arrested eventually, or a body is found and they get arrested, whatever the situation, then everything Julie said wasn't wrong.
Not you. That's where I think you need to see some of the stuff before maybe, like. That's where I think maybe having seen it will give you a little bit of a different perspective, in terms of like calling of Seth with the P word that rhymes with Speedo. I'll say this: when you have a 24-year-old man talking about lying about the age in which Sebastian was conceived, as well, and saying that was the first child, that, alluding to pregnancies that were before that, there's a reason that in his declaration, none of that, like in the Rico, none of that was mentioned as in Seth's declaration. Because there were pregnancies before that.
But I do feel like, and then I'm getting off because I'm starving, but then I do feel like that YouTube, or you specifically, are expecting Julie to give an apology to YouTube. And Julie doesn't owe YouTube an apology. Julie doesn't fucking have to apologize. And if Chris and Katie are so upset over it, get over it. You should be worried more about your missing son than what some brand new YouTuber said about you guys. If you're not guilty of anything, then why do you fucking care? And if they're making such a big deal that they demand an apology, that's fucking weird to me. That's a red flag to me.
No, it's here's the thing. It's the fact that when this case has been very polarizing. Okay, this case has been uniquely polarizing. How do I know she hasn't spoken to Chris? Because Julie's told me
She
herself.
said she hasn't.
Like, so there. But the thing is, like, if I'm just saying, the reason I'm saying this about the apology thing is that I hear when I'm looking at why I see a lot of people that are unwilling, like, to look at this situation involving Julie from a purely objective standpoint. I think they're not capable of being objective because they still hold it against Julie that she has not apologized to Katie and Chris.
Yeah,
That's
but you know
why
what?
I
It
brought up the
doesn't even
apologies.
matter. I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. 5 years ago, I made a huge mistake. 18 months ago, I owned it. I apologized to everybody, including the person that I called on. I'm still not forgiven. So it really doesn't fucking matter about apologies and people are going to forgive you. I couldn't have apologized any more than I did. I couldn't have owned it any more than I did. And people, this whole community, nobody will let it go. No, you still hear CPS Laura, blah, blah, blah. So you know what? Apologies don't mean shit. If I had to do it all over again, I may not apologize. Because where did it get me? Absolutely fucking nowhere. I might as well just lie like everybody else. So I'm not for giving apologies anymore because it means nothing. In this community, it means absolutely nothing. No matter how many times I'm one of the few that actually own my shit. Did it matter? Nope, sure didn't.
Well, I think that's where part of, and that I guess, I mean, that's where I'll say, like, she should probably put together.
It doesn't matter though. It's not going to change anything. People that don't like her are not going to like her. People that like her like her. Plain and simple. This community as a whole doesn't give a fuck about apologies. They don't. They go with the crowd. If everybody is saying CPS Laura, that's where my numbers are. Like I said, if I all of a sudden became besties with Granny and Queen Bee and Clue, I would have 1,000 people in here. All of a sudden, CPS wouldn't matter anymore. That's how this community is. Accountability means nothing. Fucking apologies mean nothing. It's all who you are friends with.
To some extent, I agree with that. To some extent,
well, you're not.
I would say that's
trust me. I've seen it. I've been around a long time. That's how it is. It's all who promotes you, who hangs out with you, who sits with you. And that's why so many people kiss the ass of these people. I personally am never going to, but that's why people kiss their ass, because they know they have to. But look at Kathy P. Perfect example. Perfect fucking example. Kathy P said her numbers tanked because QB was like, okay, bye. So all of QB's people like, so bye-bye, Kathy. That's how it is.
And that's fucking pathetic.
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I see it every day. I deal with it every time I go live and I see my numbers. It's because I won't fucking bow down to people that I just named. And I don't expect them to promote me. I don't. It'd be nice, but I'm not going to do anything to make them happen. But if I became friends with all of them again, my numbers would be great. Like, it's one thing I'll stick up for QB. When she says people use her, they do. Because they know that a push from her will give them numbers. And she's right. And if she's your enemy, your numbers will suck. That's why people kiss her ass. She's not stupid. She knows it.
I mean, and in some it's wild to me that people give any creator or anyone that kind of power over,
That's
them, and like where they go and who they listen to.
That's what they do.
It's fucking pathetic, and that's why people need to like learn to think for themselves, and that's what's sad. That
And there are some, or I would have nobody in here, but there are some that will speak for themselves, will feel for themselves, but for the most part, no. Unless you kiss their ass, you will not get a lot of people. Or you can do what Sinner does and just go against them on every turn. That's not me either. But even when I first started talking about Britney, here's a perfect example. When I first started talking about Britney, I had 400 people in here. And you know what? Then Queen Bee got word of it. CPS Laura, don't go in there. Clue, same thing. CPS Laura, I don't watch her. Blah, blah, blah. Numbers went right back down.
Well, from what I remember with that, this was the first, I think you were probably one of the first ones that, like, we kind of like hinted on the actual calling out what was going on, the cause of the nodding off, and looking at, the drug test and shit like that.
But I'm just saying, that's how it is. It is what it is. And I know it. I see it. So when I hear Queen Bee talk like that, she's not wrong.
And I can say I've been obviously on the end of QB's wrath too. So I know how it is as well. Hell, I've had but at the same time, like, it's just, I don't know what it is about this sect, if it's this sector or this happens in like other sectors of YouTube, because I don't remember it being like this in the other sectors that I was in before this. But this is just, I've never seen a group of more like herd, where it was just, cult like herd mentality.
That's what it is. But people lie, and all you need is a few big creators. When I say big, I just mean pulling numbers in this community to make or break you. And it's crazy to me, but I see it. I live it. And it's wild. And I can't believe how many people just fall into that category. It's sad. It's scary.
I agree. So what would be, I'm curious to hear people's feedback on this. Like, what is the way to combat that? Like, how do you get that back, or get people where they're not afraid to? Because I think it's freaking ridiculous. Like, people to say, "Oh,
I knew that answer.
Those chat or whatever." Like,
if I knew that answer, I'd have 400 or 500 people in here again. I don't know. I don't know what that answer is. I used to go live and never had under 250 ever. And I'm talking when, like, in the OG DC, my channel's the only one that really took off. Everyone else is still under 10,000. I'm at 22. I'm the only one that took off. And yet I can't pull more than 200 on a great night. All because the community now is Queen Bee promotes you. Clue, well, not so much Clue anymore, but Granny, Queen Bee, they're really two of them left. I don't think Trish really has impact, and Nonsense, me and Nonsense just don't get along. See, Tammy said I always had 300 to 500 in chat.
I feel like people need to, like, here's where I think it's about people feeling like it's okay to say something in someone's chat that like is against another a creator that you support. Like, it's possible. Like, I had a whole video posted up calling me out for being in Soup's live one day when she was talking about Clue, and I didn't agree with it, and because I am friends with Clue, I'm supposed to, I gotta sit there and but I'm not gonna, people know how I feel. It's pretty obvious. I'm not and I'm not afraid to say what I think on certain things either. But it just is about like, it's just weird to me that there's this like tattletale mentality of, oh, I saw you in so-and-so's chat, or, that we need to call people out for being in people's chats that we disagree with.
That's exactly what the Bee does.
And that's fucking weird. But people need to fucking realize that I don't know all the shit that went down with the Discord thing and Emily, Pickles or whatever, but it's weird to me. Like, why are we giving so much credit? Like, why are we giving anybody that's really just a fucking stranger on the internet?
I agree.
The power over our decisions, like, and where we get, like, that it's a bunch of people. Are we like 5 now where we have to get mommy's permission to go and say something or listen to someone or engage in a dialogue? Even if you disagree with them, like, it's just weird to me that is, I think people need to, and Nunya was doing a stream about it, like groupthink. I thought it was pretty interesting. That was a while back, but people need to realize that they should not be giving that fucking anyone that kind of fucking power over them, because it makes them very fucking weak.
But Sammy, it was 5 years ago. I don't even remember what the fuck I said. I don't even know if their narrative was correct. I have no idea. It was so long ago, and I put it to rest so many years ago. It's not like I made the call yesterday and it was fresh in my memory. I don't know what the fuck I said 5 years ago. Now it's 6 years ago. No, 5 years ago. I don't know what the fuck I said. But you're not going to call CPS and be nice. You're not going to tell the truth, or you wouldn't be calling CPS on someone. You got to make up shit for them to even go there. That's normal.
Brandywine, yeah, you're one of the, you're an example of somebody that said something. Yeah. But you're not the first. You won't be the last.
Damn right.
I just think it's weird. That it's like, what is you at the time, like at the time when since Brandywine's in here, at the time when Brandywine was, calling me out for things, like, it was not, people know how you, like, people actually sit and observe how you are, like, in chats, or it, it's no fucking secret that I'm friends with, that, I go in Clues, supporting Clues at the time and stuff. And I view it like this, like, when I have something to say, or when I can contribute something, or I feel like my stance or whatever isn't known about something, I'll make it fucking known. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna fucking change Soup's mind about Clue through a comment, or 120 characters.
But why would you want to? Who cares what Soup thinks of Clue?
And that's the thing, is you have subs that think that it's their business to care on behalf of their favorite creators what other people think about them, if that makes sense.
But like Soup thinks I'm a contrarian. I'm not even close to being a contrarian. Like, she doesn't know me at all. And she, like, why do I care what she thinks of me? I don't give a fuck. I think she's an idiot. So her opinion of me means nothing. She's just another YouTuber. Just someone else in the community. So who cares?
I don't know. It's just, it's I don't know. It's just strange to me that people will.
That's YouTube. That's the way it is. But it's even worse now. Like, there are people that I see, and this blows my mind. There's people I see who support the fuck out of Clue, but hate me for saying certain things that Clue has said, like verbatim. And yet they support her, but hated me for saying these things. People just make no sense. And that's why it's not even worth trying to figure them out, because they just make no sense.
And Brandywine, okay, that's the thing. I was in a chat where Soup was talking like badly about Clue for part of the stream. I don't get why a subscriber feels the need to go and, like, why you felt really it was your business to, like, do something in fucking Clue's, like, I don't know, like, what was it to you? Like, that's a me and Clue thing, not a you, me and Clue thing. I mean, like, that's what I don't get, is why subscribers even would sit there and say that. Like,
all right, well, let me give you a little history on her. When Brandywine first started posting on Twitter, I once made a comment. I don't remember what it was, but it was when I was still supporting BJ. And she was like, fuck you, get off my page, something like that. I'm loyal. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But then when I wasn't supporting BJ anymore, she had come to YouTube. I've left comments on her page. She's been in here. We haven't had any issues. We're not besties. We're not buddies. But I just ignored the fact that we used to fight on Twitter and just left comments. And there's no issues at all. Right, Brandy?
Apparently I'm still a two-faced motherfucker, even though, I mean, I think to me, two-faced would be me saying, like, going in and talking shit about Clue and, like, doing one thing and, behind her back, so to speak, and doing another thing. Like, that's two-faced to me. Like, I don't know why the fuck someone thinks that it's their fucking responsibility, or that I have to that someone in a chat commenting when a creator is disagreeing with their, friend or whatever, that they need, like, it's that I need to fucking respond to everything in a chat.
from a creator perspective, what I think she's saying, and my mods would do the same thing. My mods have seen other mods in chats that were bashing me. They come to me immediately and be like, so and so was in this one's chat while they were fucking bashing you. I'm like, whatever. They're always gonna bash me. We'll see what happens. You know, some wrenches I've removed because of it, but what Brandy is saying is if you're sitting in Soup's chat who was bashing the fuck out of Clue, and then you going into Clue's chat like, hey, what's up? That's where people are like side-eyeing you. That's what she's
Here's the thing. If you're just tuning in, if that's like your first time seeing me in Soup's chat or whatever, you're assuming a lot of things in that, first of all.
Yeah, I don't know the situation. I'm just telling you from.
You're like, people are assuming that sometimes if you just you can comment at every fucking point that you disagree with. A lot of people fucking listen to YouTube while they're doing other shit, and they comment when they can, or they comment when something fucking resonates with them. However, I know how. I have gone in there and I have made, like, if it's something that I've already fucking made my thoughts known on related to a creator that I support being bashed, it's like banging your head up against a wall to sit there and try to argue with someone in a comment section, or like just because they're a comment, like a channel that literally is providing commentary on this sector happens to be talking about a person you're friends with at the time. Like, ask Soup if she knows that I support Clue. Fuck, yeah, I do. It's just, it's just weird to me that, to feel the need to like record me in a chat, like record that I was present during a live stream and post it on X, and then call me out in a chat for like in someone else's live, like in Clue's live. Because I'll just give an example of what happened, and be
but
like,
my feeling is nobody's gonna know if nobody's going to know what's going on in other chats if people don't go to it. Like, I would never know half the shit going on if people didn't tell me about it. You know what I mean? So I'm not so against people being in other people's chats, because that's how you know what's going on.
Yeah, hell, I go into chats of people that and just observe, like, like, I go places where I don't want an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think an echo chamber is fucking absolutely unhealthy.
I agree.
And just because, like, I don't agree with everything Clue does either. I don't agree with everything you do. You know that. Well, you're right. Sure. And BJ doesn't sleep on streams, but okay. But it's just like, that's where I don't get it. It's like, why do subscribers feel the need to go to that links for people that they don't fucking know on the internet? Like, it's just weird to me. And I think that's a big reason too, like, why this community is where it's at right now, and people need to fucking reevaluate, the amount of control and power they give to strangers on the internet.
No, I don't think Clue's an echo chamber, Brandy. I really don't. I haven't watched her much on Kick, but when she was here, I didn't see an echo chamber. Now, Bees is an echo chamber, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I don't know where people are saying Clues was an echo chamber.
No, I don't think no, Brandy was asking. if Clue is an echo chamber. I don't think so at all.
Okay, well, here's the question for you, Brandy. Why were you in Soup's chat? Like, you were obviously in there to record it, me being in there. So if you were in there just not commenting, wouldn't you say that that's more of a hypocrite? Like, I mean, to me, you were there.
I give Brandy credit for being able to record Brittany because I could not do it. Could not do it.
Kick is a little like the freaking emote, like all the emojis and different colors and shit. Like, woo, that chat's wild.
I like Kick. I just wish my subscribers did. Whoa.
But I mean, it's weird to me that, you know, people will call you out for being in the chat that they're in to record you being in the chat. Interesting. I mean,
if they all go over to Kick, then we'll get the YouTube crowd. But all right, I'm getting off though. I'm hungry and tired. I gotta be up early.
Yeah.
Ugh. But thank you for coming up. I need a good argument. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. All right, chitlins. I am going to eat. I never ordered pizza. I was going to, but I decided not to. I'm like, fuck it. I still might, though. Who knows? Yeah, my cake is just Perplex QT. But I'm telling you, I haven't been on in like 3 years. I think I still get kickbacks from them though. So I still have a few subscribers because I still get monthly. But I literally haven't been on in like 3 years. Bye, Brandy. But like I said, now it might be different because now they have like the gifts and stuff. They have the kick dollars or whatever it is. But I don't know. People just stop using it. And unless you're doing real content or you're sitting there in a bikini, you're not really going to grow. Yeah, 861. I've had 861. Like I've had over 800 forever. But if you look at my last stream, it's probably 3 years ago. It's been a long time. But I may go on. Ooh. Ah. All right. I gotta be up early tomorrow. I gotta work tomorrow. So I will see you beautiful people tomorrow night. Thank you for the memberships. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up and make sure you hit subscribe. We're kind of like at a standstill on subscriptions. So if you just subscribe to type in here, don't unsubscribe. We got to get numbers back up. Sunday, I think we're going to do Candle and Crime. Oh, there's an update on Caleb Flynn. Hold on. I almost forgot. Let me check. Where'd you put it? Did you put it in Crime? Thank you, Brandy. Steph, where is the update? Said there was an update. I don't see the update. I guess I missed it. All right. So again, I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. And that's it. All right. Have a wonderful night. And again, thank you guys for the memberships. We're catching up. And thank you guys for the super chats, cash apps. Order some candles at energycandles.com. But like I said, Sunday night, we're going to do a Candles and Crime with a grand reopening. We're going to have specials. And that's it. All right. And it's not just candles. We got lotions, we got car diffusers, we got aroma beads, we got oils, you name it, we got it. So on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Peace. Be good to each other. Be nice to each other. And have fun.